Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio. I am your host, Ryan Knightsey. With me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this fine Sunday morn?
Well, it's the last live Ring Post Radio of the year, so
Yes,
couldn't be better. How exciting times here!
yes,
Next 2 weekends off. A lot of heavy lifting this week.
yeah. We got
talking
three
about.
recordings this week, but
Yeah, lots of heavy lifting this week. But I absolutely popped myself with the ridiculous of that thumbnail. By the way, there's so much going on, and if you think that's bad, just wait for the next two.
oh god,
Happy to be here.
I don't know what the next two look like. Oh boy,
What? Let's just say the promotions one's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be great. I'm happy to be here. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't watch a lot of wrestling this week. Just watched a few things because got stuck playing games and living life and not wanting to watch wrestling. It took me until like yesterday to watch Dynamite. So that tells you all you need to know.
You messaged me saying you're like, I'm watching Dynamite. I was like, Collision's on. What are you talking about, bud?
Yeah, to say the least, I did not watch Collision yet. I did watch Saturday night's main event, aka WWE's version of Battle of the Belts, which I think we all should have known, truthfully, but we didn't because it's on NBC.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm excited. It's the beginning of the end of the year for us and for wrestling. I think if you are a fan specifically of Japanese pro wrestling, this is the best time of the year. As we head into the final week and first week of the new year, it's when all the big things are happening. And we're going to talk about all of that today because, like we said, we'll be live the next 2 weeks. So we got to just cram it all in there and do our best. We're going to be very, very busy this week.
Yes.
For the people.
Yes, all this is for the people, of course. We're, obviously everyone's going to take off time for the holidays, but we're not going to be one of those podcasts that, take off, not going to release any audio during the Christmas holiday season. No. We're not going to be one of those other podcasts. We right here, we're putting the work in this week to make sure we get all you some great content for so that you can step away from your family and listen to it when you need that break. Sometimes as an introvert, Scotty, I need that break from my family. I need that break from my in-laws. Scotty, this my in-laws, my wife, one of seven. All of
one
them
of seven
have
wives. That's great.
Yep. I'm a Mormon. Surprise, surprise. No, my wife's one of seven
children.
One of seven kids. All of them have children. The grandchildren outnumber all of the adults, and the oldest, I believe, is 6.
So Christmas is a fun time.
Christmas is a fun time. I made sure I got my flu shot beforehand because
you must have to get so many gifts for these children.
Well, luckily we are not. What they do every year is we don't do gifts for all the grandkids and stuff. What happens is that all the grandkids are part of a Secret Santa gift exchange. All 20 plus of them. So yeah, ever growing. And we haven't had any kids to add to that pile, so it's ever growing. But they do a giant gift exchange, and then all the adults do a gift exchange with each other because again, there's
that's nice. So the adults
16 of them.
Say, fuck them kids. Nice.
Exactly right.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot. It's everyone needs the time. Time to maybe step away, listen to some stuff. We'll have some great audio coming out. That audio, of course, will be our New Japan Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty previews with, of course, Chris Samsa. And then, of course, we'll do our year-end review, I guess, of 2024's Year of Wrestling, one of our most popular shows here at Ring Post Radio. We'll be talking about, giving out our thoughts about how all the promotions were in 2024, what we plan to cover in 2025, give our sort of match of the year ideas, wrestler of the year ideas, maybe as well. So that we, do a full scan review, a lot of thoughts. I know Scotty are prepared to give a lot of thoughts about 2024 year in wrestling. So get ready for that episode.
Me and Ryan spent like a whole hour this week talking about the most overrated wrestler this year. And boy, oh boy, were there a lot of options.
Yeah, it was frustrating to keep naming people. It was like, man.
Oh, what about this person? Oh, that's a great one. Yeah,
it was more frustrating to name like 9 from AEW, but I digress.
Yeah.
Can I? Speaking of I digress. Can I add Taz to that list of?
He's not a wrestler. No. We could put Hook. Hook proxy.
I don't know if
was involved a lot and was never good. Is that?
But I don't know if I'm not necessarily willing to.
Pushed.
There's definitely way more people up higher than lower.
He wasn't over pushed. Now, for those
properly pushed for what
the way we look at overrated is the Dave Meltzer way of overutilized / pushed.
Yeah.
And not living up to that spot. Obviously, some people look at it as just like overrated wrestler, and then like that opens up a whole nother can of worms.
I believe this year we discovered the answer for that, and that is Rosemary, according to her cage match profile. So I think we already know the answer to that question. So it should be her every year.
No, that would actually probably be Joe Hendry.
Oh yeah,
I mean legitimacy. He has a case for both. But if it was just overrated, like you can't live up, like people love you for some stupid reason, you're not good.
What is Joe Hendry? What is Joe Hendry?
It can't be good. It can't be high.
8.04.
That's way too high. Okay, that's higher than John Cena, man.
Oh God! Oh no! Okay,
I watched John Cena versus CM Punk from Monday Night Raw. I think last week. That man is not overrated. He's actually underappreciated at this stage of the game. I kind of can't stand it. Joe Hendry though, I do not believe in Joe Hendry.
A 8.04 Joe Hendry. Other people in cage match that have an 8.04. Scotty, let me know if this is Joe Hendry is better or worse than these people. Ready?
Yeah.
Santos
we have a 3-hour show today. Why don't we do a little gimmick to start the show?
Of course.
Santos currently?
Yeah,
currently? I guess I'll give Hendry the I guess. I mean, Escobar throughout his career, it's absolutely him. He's better, but now I don't even know if he does anything.
I know for a fact you know who this person is. Karsten Kretschmer. He looks to be an indie wrestler out of Europe. Oh nope, he has not wrestled since 2021. He's not been an active wrestler since 2021. So we have no idea who that is. Jason Kincaid, another person, an indie wrestler out of.
You're not helping.
These are real people.
Joe Hendry here.
Yeah, that's a good point. What about Absolute Andy? In Europe, I believe Absolute Andy passed away late last year, if I recall correctly.
Can I
worked at WXW. Well, here's some actual names. Here's some actual names I know for a fact you know. Candice LeRae.
Okay.
Better or worse? Joe Hendry. Better or worse than Candice LeRae?
Worse. Joe Hendry's really bad. Okay, so like.
What about Willie? What about Willie Mack?
Willie Mack's better.
I'm also just looking up 8.05, 0.01 point above Joe Hendry. Would you agree with this? Fukigen Death?
0.01.
0.01. Fukigen Death official better than Joe Hendry. I think we can all agree.
Well, that's true. We already talked about Joe Hendry way too much.
That's fair. Yeah, we got a big time show for everybody here today.
It's my fault, admittedly.
That's fine. I got distracted as well. I allow the distractions. We got a big time show for you all today. We are going to discuss WWE's Saturday Night's Main Event, their first time back on NBC proper in some odd years. And obviously simulcast on Peacock as well. We'll talk about that big time show. Obviously, other shows and promotions had shows this weekend that we previewed and talked about. But, you know, because of what the show is, our last sort of thoughts before the end of the year in terms of a live show, we're going to preview a crap ton of big time shows that are going to happen for the rest of the year. We have AEW World's End, Ring of Honor Final Battle, Stardom Dream Queendom, and Stardom New Year Dream. Don't get those confused. And also don't get that confused with Marigold's First Dream. A lot of dreams here. All Japan has their New Year's Eve show, and Noah have their New Year's Day show. So some big time shows obviously happening in the world of Japan. Obviously, every year that happens. And of course, World's End and Final Battle stateside. And then obviously WWE just had their big time show, I guess, for the end of the year because they're not coming back until, well, I guess technically the next Saturday night's main event and then the Royal Rumble.
Netflix.
Yes, I guess if you want to count
Netflix debut has Roman Reigns and CM Punk wrestling. So I'd argue that's probably big.
Yeah, that is technically something we could also preview, but have they officially announced anything?
It's January 6th, so we don't have to preview it yet. We'll have a show before that.
Yeah, that's probably true. We might have a show that day as well. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, and I think the only thing we know about that show is Roman Reigns is wrestling on it, but then it's
officially, yeah,
probably Punk versus Rollins. That's the rumor. That's the report.
Yeah. That's the rumor, and then Roman's wrestling solo.
Oh, what a show! What a show!
And then I'd guess Rhea Ripley probably beats Liv Morgan.
Oh, that makes sense. And then and then you could have Becky return or something.
Well, yeah, we know
Becky's
there, and Cena's there.
And so this was your Raw on Netflix preview, I guess.
Hey, everybody! Thoughts, thoughts.
Hard to preview something that doesn't fully exist, but let's review something that did in fact fully exist, and of course that was WWE's Saturday night's main event. They returned to Uniondale, New York, back on NBC proper for the first time in, like I said, some odd years. And the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, 14,000 plus strong was last number I saw for this event. Scotty, we both watched the show last night. I guess overall thoughts before we get into the match by match details of it all. What do you think of the return of Saturday night's main event?
It was a breezy watch.
Yes, 100%. 2 hours in and out. Chef's kiss.
Didn't have a problem with that whatsoever. I think they just need to figure out their timing. 4 matches, not 5, or 3 matches and some angle, promos and stuff. I think would be beneficial to these shows moving forward, because you could feel the rush towards the end of the show. But I don't mind the breeziness. Here's the problem: Triple H makes me watch 3.5-hour shows for his pay-per-views with 5 matches. And then for Saturday night's main event, he's like, let's do 5 matches in 2 hours. And it's I understand that, but everything has to be probably 5 minutes shorter by default. And then some things feel rushed. But honestly, I saw people having a problem with the show. It's fine. It was fine. There was nothing that I'm going to walk away being like, oh my, well, there's one thing. But other than that, it's fine. This is the time of year they don't try usually. So I took this as a house show that was aired with some pomp and circumstance, and that's fine.
Yeah, I largely agree with what you said there. I think that there is definitely they packed it with action. I do disagree. I wouldn't like promo segments on the show, because then that's when it starts feeling like a TV show. I like doing these TV specials action packed with just wrestling. I do agree though that
I more meant the TV thing that they were doing. With,
I get the commercials and all these
Tessitore and Ventura on the little stage. They probably could have, if they want to do that, probably need 5 minutes more, because it's all right, let's get to them. Let's get to the match. It's all right.
Slow. to that promo extent, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and not like I don't need full out promos. You just spent weeks building the show.
Exactly. And maybe there's a reason why they didn't cut back to Jesse Ventura that much, because it little awkward. Not in terms of him being bad. It just had that sort of, we're walking an old man out onto a live mic on a live stage, and it's sort of weird. You remember the New Year's Eve show where they brought out Dick Clark out? Yeah. He's this 90-year-old man. Yeah. He kisses his wife, and everyone's like, "Oh God, this is the first thing I'm seeing in the new year."
I will give Ventura this. While he contradicted himself a few times, it was a little bit everywhere. It's nice to hear his voice on a broadcast.
100%.
If that makes sense. I just think it adds. I thought Michael Cole did a good job directing that, especially in the main event, which, between Pat McAfee and Ventura, I was like, oh man, this guy is in for it tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it added to what the feel was that they wanted, was having Ventura around. There was awkwardness. There was a little like, oh God, what is he gonna say now?
Mhm.
But that's what you sign up for, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I thought they got the vibe of the show down right.
Yes.
I think the sort of the more blue tinted lighting,
That
the
was nice.
the red, white, and blue ring ropes, of course,
That was nice.
dating back to early 2023 AEW, of course, that reference. Uh, but they're going for that vibe. They're going for that 80s vibe, and that's obviously something PR wise WWE has been pushing
Yeah.
for a little bit of. This is sort of the biggest wrestling WWE has been
Yeah.
since the 80s, right? Um,
Mhm.
you could say the 90s were larger, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Biggest since the 80s, and they wanted to give you that 80s, that 40-year-old vibe with the winged eagle belt, the ropes, felt a little looser, looked a little looser. So they were. I
They
think they
nailed the
succeeded.
vibe.
I think they
Yeah, they
nailed and
nailed the vibe.
succeeded in that vibe check. So I think that's a good one on them. And yeah, I do agree. I think it's a little jam packed, but if you do this for five matches on this one, I think that's fine. And then on the next one, they can
Yeah.
figure it out, go to that 4,
Sure.
recognize that you're in that hard
And
slot, and move on with your day.
the next one should be essentially whatever is not making it onto the Rumble.
Yeah,
Like
presumably.
that's essentially what those matches should be. So if you put Gunther on that show as your main event instead of having him and Cody and then like 2 or 3 other matches, I think that works better. I think 4 works better because then you can give everything a chance to breathe a little. But ultimately, like my takeaway from the show, like I saw a bunch of people complain. I was like, I don't know. I watched that in 2 hours and I moved on in my life. Like that was easy, you know?
Yeah.
If it was a WWE pay-per-view where I wasted hours upon hours to watch the same amount of matches do exactly what they did, I would be like, oh,
I think that's
run.
a great point. We get 5 matches on every other pay-per-view, and those pay-per-views
Yeah.
are 4 hours long.
Mhm.
And would have been nice maybe for the main event to have been a little longer? Sure, but I'm happy with 12 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with
Yeah.
that.
I watched that main event and halfway through I was like, Triple H is gonna do what he usually does. He loves to push things off. That's it. If you've watched him book long enough already, you know that he likes to prolong things that he sees as hot,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Bloodline.
The Judgment Day.
Still Judgment Day, like he likes to do that. And as I was watching the main event, I was like,
Tiffany
this is
Stratton,
definitely
Nia Jax blow up, I
uh-huh.
guess.
He's like, oh, I know this is working, and I know people are interested in this. So why don't I just push it off further to add to our show so I don't have to think of something new? And honestly, it works for this crowd. So what does it matter? So when I'm watching the main event and it ends the way it is, I was like, okay, we're going to the Rumble. Cool, sounds good.
Yeah.
Like that's and the second major problem I have with the show, the other one is a clean win for someone. The first one I have is that they cut this incredible angle and none of it's on TV.
Yep. Yeah,
That
that's true.
I don't know why they feel the need to do that. This is another time they are doing that with Kevin Owens. He hit a package pile driver. He killed the man.
Yeah.
Good
What
package
was the
pile
angle,
driver,
right?
by the way.
What was the angle, by the way? If you can describe what happened?
So Cody wins, obviously, by I would say
Obviously.
cheating. Right. He uses the chair.
He crossed the line.
He crossed the line, as Ventura said. He's the one that used the chair, not Owens.
Yeah.
That's actually when Ventura kicked into like good Ventura. It was like
Well,
in that post match.
it was that moment where you got that real 80s vibe where Hulk Hogan sort of kind of cheats to win and retain to the cheers and adulation of everyone, and Ventura's in the corner being like, he's the one that cheated.
Yeah, it was real. That was like the most old fashioned part of the entire show, I thought.
Yeah.
So he hit after 2 ref bumps, not 1 but 2. What is this, House of Torture? He wins and he's celebrating and the show goes off the air. And I remember watching, I was like, I feel like Kevin's gonna do something. And then the show just ended and I was like, all right, fine,
Yeah.
happy Cody
I thought
wins.
we were gonna get that classic NXT move of like
Yep.
show the graphics and the show's gonna continue. But then I was
This
looking
is his new move.
at my lack of watch and was like, oh, we don't have this is TV time. This is a pay-per-view.
So Kevin runs into the ring, attacks Cody, hits him with a package pile driver. Shout out to Kevin Steen, and kills the man. And he takes the Winged Eagle belt, which, by the way, the Winged Eagle was here. I looked at
Stretcher job for Cody.
Yeah. When Cody came out, by the way, with the Winged Eagle, I was like, how do they put this on someone and be like, yeah, our belt now is so much better? Like, that's crazy to me. And then Kevin takes the Winged Eagle, celebrates as if he's champion because he got screwed. Triple H comes out, they get in a little tussle, and so be it. So what it seems like is that Kevin is going to treat himself as the champion. I think he's going to keep the Winged Eagle, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
The real world champion, mind you, the WWE Reals World Champion. Shouts out to CM Punk once upon a time. And Cody's going to do a few weeks off, which will be easy because they recorded SmackDown next week because of the holidays. And the week after that's probably going to be a nothing show. So honestly, very, very, do I like that we didn't just get a straight up like Kevin Owens win? No. But is it smart booking in that it's a good way to keep Kevin Owens protected, make him look strong in the end, and like this dastardly heel? Yes. And it leads to a stipulation match, I think, at the Rumble.
I agree with everything.
Cody needs to bleed.
Yes, I agree. I think what this actually does is it might set up the Rumble, but I think if they want to keep the vibes, keep the Winged Eagle aspect of it all, I think the next Saturday night's main event. If we're fighting over the Winged Eagle title, right? Then why not just have it at the next Saturday night's main event, which is technically the next sort of big time show other than Netflix for WWE. I feel like that makes sense. And then obviously you go into the Royal Rumble.
Thankfully for them, they got two options back-to-back weeks,
Yes. they can decide whatever they want.
It would probably be better on Saturday night's main event because the Rumble has the Rumbles. Like, it doesn't need anything else. We talk about this all the time, right? I don't need anything bigger.
I did think of this as a devil's advocate argument, as a why doing the post-match segment for Saturday night's main event is a good idea. Rather why not just show that on television? And the thought I had was, well, what this does is it gives you a special treat for the ticket-paying audience.
That's
pretty much only, right? And that if you want to go see like more stuff, more cool angles and all these sort of things, story, right? WWE sells their tickets off of stories. If you want to see more stories, then you have to go buy a ticket and go to the show, especially for the next show because it's going to be a slightly bigger building, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure you go see it because you just might miss something. Whereas the TV audience, or the Peacock audience definitely missed something. Now, granted, then you also have the secondary boost of you can see it on social media. So make sure you follow WWE on social media so you can see all the story beats and angles. Since, if we want to talk about it, this angle basically, not really basically started, but the kickoff, the impetus, I guess, of the angle was after Bad Blood in a social media post with everybody posting those sort of things. So they're telling the story, the reality of the storytelling is happening outside of the boundaries of the screen. So if you want to see it, you have to be there live. And I think to a certain extent, that's a good marketing move, a good idea. It's stuff that like people have argued for like AEW in the past. It's something about you're not necessarily sending the crowd home happy, but I think this crowd of WWE is happy with seeing angles and stories happen, and that will liven them up no matter what. So I don't necessarily think it matters in terms of happiness, but seeing an angle is cool to people.
It is interesting, right? Because we're seeing them try new things in real time. I think here I think the best way to say it, if they were not as hot as they were right now, they probably would put this on TV. Because they are, it's going to spread like wildfire being online only, and it's going to get you excited for the next Raw or SmackDown or something like that.
And I should see the next Raw SmackDown live because I might miss something that I won't get to see on TV.
Right, exactly. We say it every week. WWE is cruising. They're
Yep.
doing a lot of good that fits their audience. And listen, while I thought the match was whatever, because it's an angle match at the end of the day, and that'll piss some people off, and that's fine. I understand WWE's business. It was smart by the end of it, because what are people still talking about? That angle.
Yeah.
That's from WWE. That's what people are talking about. They're talking about what's next with that. So it's really funny seeing Cody Rhodes become John Cena. I just need to say that. Like, he is in his full John Cena mode now. And I saw someone say, like, now WWE fans understand, like, the problem with Cody at the end of his AEW run. I was like, that's not true. I was like, that's not even close to the same thing. He's still cheered. First and foremost, he's still cheered, and he's not going to get booed anytime soon. People still adore this guy. In WWE, in AEW, the Codyverse was a weird time. This is not Codyverse yet. He's not wrestling. I don't know who do we want to make Anthony Ogogo. He's not wrestling for the
Hook.
TNT title.
He would have put over Hook in an instant.
Right, exactly. It would have been weird, like it's not.
But also, because the AEW crowd knew Cody as this, hothead heel from Ring of Honor days, and that was sort of like the peak, right? 2017 Ring of Honor, where he's champion basically the entire year. He's a heel for pretty much the entire year. Does the biggest business for Ring of Honor, at the time.
That role.
He was great in that role, so much so that's a lot of the reason why the Codyverse failed, is because he wanted to be the babyface, and the crowd wanted to see him as a heel because he was great as a heel. WWE never saw him as a heel; they only see him as a babyface.
I'm sure they will eventually.
I'm sure they will eventually. They're teasing stuff,
unless he's really John Cena.
Yeah, I think they're teasing ideas, but I think it's sort of teasing ideas to encroach, see the boundaries of Cody Rhodes as a babyface. Historically speaking, it's sort of interesting. Obviously Roman Reigns is a Hall of Famer now, and all these sort of aspects of Roman Reigns and the bloodline, all these sort of things. But it does feel like you get to like John Cena, and then you have a lot of years of this weird, mucky, weird waters of WWE. And then you get into this Cody Rhodes era, and it is this thing of like, I feel like we'll look back and be like, man, the Roman Reigns stuff really was a weird transitional period for WWE to get from Cena to Cody. Because I'm just already right now, it's just like everything's so hot, and Cody has the ball, obviously. And it's just insane to watch all of this stuff unfold.
Cody's existence aids pretty much everyone. If that makes sense. Like, I know some people hate him. I know, but yeah, I think most people like him. I've always been a big fan of his.
Yep.
I think the interesting part about watching him is that he doesn't have to be the main guy in terms of maybe the television show to be the main guy.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think Roman, in his era of being a babyface originally, struggled with. Like, they couldn't figure that out. They're like, we have to make him the main guy at all times because he's still not fully over. And then obviously things changed when he switched over. He was the main guy but heel, and it was easy to work off of, and so on and so forth. But yeah, Cody makes everything better for WWE. I still think that he is. I know a lot of the bloodline and Roman gets credit, but I think it is a 50-50 mix at least of Cody switching over to WWE that really just got them red hot. And I think that's something that a lot of people might not appreciate yet, but in the long term they will, for sure.
Well, let's get to the match itself, since we've talked about the angle a lot. Match itself, of course, Cody Rhodes defeats Kevin Owens 12 minutes flat for that Universal title for WWE, or rather the Winged Eagle title. Apparently a replica, by the way, not the actual Winged Eagle title. But
it was nice to see. I don't care.
Reggie Park's Hall of Fame voters going crazy seeing that belt on the screen once again. What do you think of the match itself? It seemed a little lackluster in terms of response.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Pretty basic work main event between heel and babyface. I would have liked to see a little more viciousness out of KO, but I got the viciousness in the post match, so I can't complain too much. It's that type of thing. And I think the next time they face each other, there needs to be an extra level of that. And that's maybe why I think they could put it on the Rumble, because they may not want to air that on NBC if they go to another limit.
Fair.
Right? With blood and whatnot. I feel like this feud's becoming a blood feud very quickly. But yeah, it was fine. Some good near falls and stuff like that. I think the scene of Kevin winning was smart, right? He hits the stunner, but there's no ref. I also think he should get rid of the stunner and do the pop-up powerbomb as his finisher, but I've been saying that for years now. And the same goes for Cody. It was fine. It was fine. I don't really have any problems with it.
Yeah, pre-angle, my immediate thoughts were, an interesting match story-wise, right? Because going into this whole thing was, you crossed the line on Randy. Oh well, I like Randy. I hate you. Well,
I do Randy moments throughout, which I thought.
They definitely did. Then Cody been like, I'm not afraid to cross the line. They did a lot of TNA shouts all over the place. And what was interesting about that for me was that the match never felt like it crossed any line per se in terms of Kevin, especially. Like, I don't recall Kevin going after the ankle of Cody Rhodes.
He hit it a few times, but not
not enough. Minimal amount.
Something Ventura said on commentary.
Yeah,
which
and
was good.
Which almost pointed out
Instead of
even
acting
more
stupid though. Like, I like when they're like, all right, you should just be attacking that ankle more than anything. And I do think that hurt the match, is not focusing more on the angle, but not angle.
That goes into the story of the match. Is he has a hurt angle and Kevin is crossing the line and not playing a respectful wrestling match.
Right.
And it felt more like a respectful wrestling match than heading into the blood feud. Obviously, the post-match angle changes some things, but it still was this sort of thing of it. I never felt like Kevin, quote unquote, crossed the line and really brutalized Cody here. Whereas it ends up being Cody is the one that uses the chair. He's the one that, quote unquote, crosses the line and basically hits Kevin Owens with a chair. And it's sort of this like
go the extra level,
which is exactly what Cody said he was going to do. And Kevin not crossing that line, in my opinion, is again exactly what Cody said was going to happen with Kevin. And what his issue with Kevin many months ago was, you don't have that fight anymore. And it didn't feel like he had it in the match itself.
Yeah.
And I think the problem of doing the angle off screen and having the angle being the big crossing the line moment is, we're not going to put it in the match because we got to save it all for the angle after the fact. And I think that affected the match itself and sort of led to a more disappointing finish of this show than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. I think when I see people like critique certain WWE things, they probably don't always watch the lead up. And I think it's very important to watch lead up for WWE because they do play to it many times throughout the matches, as you just pointed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was a deflating finish in terms of, we wanted to see it go an extra mile or so. But again, the post-match angle saves everything. And it's like, that's what you were looking for. Hurt the match overall because that's what you wanted to see in the match.
Yep.
But it's fine. I'm not going to lose sleep over this. At the end of the day, it's a TV special.
Well, speaking of Scotty, speaking of what you just said, let's go back up to the top of the card, of course, and talk about Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
Hot crowd for this. This was crazy.
Hot crowd. Super excited.
I was like,
for the show.
We really at the Nassau Coliseum? Are we okay?
World's End was in this building? But yeah, a hot start for a show, hot start for a crowd. 10 minutes of I thought was just nonstop action. And I think that was sort of that set the theme for the rest of the show. For the rest of the show, to be clear, I don't think anything wrestling wise was great and revolutionary here. Definitely nothing on here I thought was overtly bad. I think everything was, good.
The finish of a match was overtly bad, but I can't stress that enough.
I think everything here was pretty much good to really good. And I thought Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn delivered in a really good opener, keep the crowd hot. As Drew McIntyre, of course, picks up the win over Sami Zayn and continues to attack people who align themselves with Roman Reigns, which I guess with the Kevin Owens aspect is very similar with Kevin Owens as a heel. But I guess that means we might get McIntyre versus Cody at some point. I don't really know. What do you think, Scotty, about this match?
I like getting Drew back on the horse instantly when he comes back. Right, this is the first match he's had since the Punk stuff, and he's not dominant fashion, but he beats a strong babyface, and I think that's important for him and his wherever he's going.
Yeah.
They have a lot of options, is what I realized watching this match. I was like, they're gonna have Drew, they're gonna have like Randy when he comes back, obviously for Cody. There's gonna be a lot of matches, I think, at WrestleMania this year that obviously don't involve a title, but feel like they could be a world title feud. Because again, you're gonna have Cena also back, you're gonna have Becky back, you're gonna have Charlotte Flair back, right? Like there's a lot of new or returning involvement that puts emphasis on certain things as well.
And not just like general stars returning. We're talking about like actual like massive stars.
Yeah.
Or at least two massive stars.
Right. And then you have Drew here, who's like, he's been one of the strongest parts of WWE programming this year. And his story is now the same story really than before Punk, truthfully, which was I hate everyone that's bloodline adjacent. And if that makes me a bad guy, that makes me a bad guy. And in the end, he's using a lot of truth. So I thought him winning here in what I thought was a strong, fine opener. Like I thought this was probably my favorite match on the show, just because it was go.
Yeah.
And quick and simple.
Yep.
Like sometimes that's all I'm looking for.
Yep.
When I watched WWE, and that's what it was. So
I totally agree. Next up was, of course, that WWE Women's World Title match. Liv Morgan successfully defends her title against Io Sky. Scotty, you have the floor.
I watched Io wrestle. I don't know how many minutes on this show, and
this was a 9-minute match.
This was a heavy carry. Every moment of offense was Io essentially, and I was like, this is how you get a match over. And then she just lost clean. I couldn't believe it. I could, but I couldn't. And I was like, I knew she wasn't gonna win. Okay, I'll be honest. Like I knew she wasn't gonna win.
We saw War Games and how little interaction they really had.
But we could have had the cheater out of the win. I'm asking, you guys love distractions. You love them. You can't live without them. But this was the limit. This was the limit for you, Io. You had to pin Io, and you know what the crazy part is? I still think Io and Rhea is the direction. I don't know why, but I still do. Maybe because I'm nuts. Maybe because some people keep saying, "Oh, maybe it still is." Maybe because I see Rhea carry Io out of the building yesterday, and there's clearly a camera on them, and I'm like, they're shooting this for a reason. I listen. There's copium, and then there's whatever I'm on when it comes to Io Shirai. Okay. Hopium. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I definitely am on Hopium. I just wish they didn't have to do this title match at all, but they wanted to make Liv look good for once before she loses to Rhea. It only took, she's had the title since May, all of those months. Liv Morgan's not good. Like, plain and simple, she's not good.
What do you think? What do you think of Michael Cole calling Liv Morgan a Wrestler of the Year contender?
I almost died. On the spot. I was like, you're watching Io do all of this, and you're like, oh, you know. No, he did give Io props. He's one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. I was like, all right, pay some respect. Thank you. Thank you, you jerk. If you're gonna call Liv Morgan a Wrestler of the Year contender, holy shit. Yeah, I think Rhea and Io should be the direction, because I think you can do different things with Becky, for example. I think Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton probably makes the most sense over there. On what is that show? SmackDown. I think that makes the most sense there, personally. AKA get the belt off of Nia, please, before whatever that show is. What is that show? WrestleMania. That's the show.
You're falling apart here, Scotty.
I am, because I'm disheveled. I was so upset because she was doing all these great things, and I was like, Io's in her bag, and then she just lost, and I was like, oh, all right, fuck you too then, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely agree that like I thought the match was good, but I definitely agree that like a lot of it is because Io Sky is great, and she can help elevate a lot of great. She can help. She is an elevator, right? She is somebody that can cause other wrestlers to rise to her occasions.
Sure.
That's really what Io Sky is. There's not every wrestler is an elevator. Not every, especially great wrestler, is an elevator.
I liked this better than the AEW Women's Title match from Dynamite.
I think that's fair. I
because
would
of
agree with
Io.
that.
Because of Io. Like that's how she elevated the match. If that
I can see that argument. I think it comes down to personal preference, but I think I can agree with that.
Both weren't great by any means. I'm just like it's probably like a quarter difference, truthfully.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought it was extremely stupid to have then Liv Morgan go up to the ramp and then Rhea Ripley comes out, does her
face off, don't attack her.
Well, does her dumb little stomp.
Oh yeah. She didn't do it. I was like, they could just beat her ass right now.
I know, that's what I thought. It was real Miz turn as he faces Bray Wyatt, who has like abducted his child. I gotta make sure to hit my spin. I thought it was extremely stupid. It was one of those things of like, the WWE music and entrance stuff has gotten so out of hand where Rhea Ripley, she has a moment of her song where she, hits her stomp. And if she doesn't hit her stomp, then all the music just kind of falls away and then there's nothing. And then it's just kind of awkward and weird. So she has to hit her stomp or else it looks weird. But to me, the stomp looks dumb and stupid and silly in this context. And so it just kind of ruins the whole thing for me. And it just takes away whatever aura. She's really trying to keep it and preserve it, but I don't think it works. But alas, that's kind of what we're dealt with here in WWE, is the sort of silly choreographed entrances. So it is what it is. Next match here was the WB World Heavyweight Triple Threat match between Gunther, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. 11 minutes again of a lot of nonstop action here. You know me, I like my triple threat multi-man matches to be quite short, and 11 minutes was a good amount of time here. I thought, nobody overstayed the welcome. The action kept going. I thought everyone felt and looked pretty good. And obviously Gunther gets the big time win here, which we all expected. I think if I had to give my personal opinion here, Scotty, I think Damian Priest, I think we're good on him in a world title picture scene for a while. I think we can.
Oh, baby, I've been good on him.
Move him over to SmackDown. He can, I guess, feud with Cody a little bit if he likes, or the Roman Reigns or something. I don't know, but I think we're done with Damian Priest for a little bit. I'm Damian Priest out.
Funny? I've kind of hit like I've hit the moment where it's like, oh wait a minute, they're switching everybody to Raw. That's important. So I was like, okay, Damian Priest can go to SmackDown moving forward. That mean maybe a little bit.
You mean in this what the trade window or whatever?
In the trade window, aka the Netflix I Want Everyone special.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so if Cody's going to Raw, presumably, because I'm gonna guess they're gonna want Cody as their world champion. Does that mean Gunther goes to SmackDown? I was like, then how do we get Damian Priest away from this man?
I guess he stays on Raw.
I guess, yeah. I guess you can't move that many people.
Yeah.
Watching this match, it was fine. I'm very done with everything Judgment Day adjacent. This faction started with Edge. Edge hasn't been in this company in
a year,
well over a year.
Yeah,
well over a year, and he hasn't been connected to them in well over 2 years. I'm pretty sure.
A switcheroo of separating Priest, and I would arguably say Rhea Ripley as well. Just for the rest of the Judgment Day is very much needed because it feels like they've been feuding again, pushing things off because it feels like it's hot.
Yeah,
but to me, it's not hot anymore.
It felt like like it was an emphatic win for Gunther.
Agreed.
Took out Priest, takes out Balor. See you later. Like we can move on now.
Yes.
It
Move
felt
on to whatever the Rumble's going to be.
right. It felt like you killed two birds with one stone type thing. Like, all right, we can move on now. That was clean for him. Period. End of story. And I hope that's exactly what happens because I think Gunther's world title reign has been heavily hurt by the continuation of this involvement.
Yeah.
To the point where I think I've seen a lot of people be like, is this reign like bad? And it's like, it's not Gunther, right? It's not what he had in his IC title reign, which was ended this year, by the way. Like that ended this year. It's not like we're that far removed. I think he could really benefit from a work rate opponent for his next defense and just get a great match. I think that would do him a lot of good.
Yeah, he won the title, of course, at SummerSlam in August against Damian Priest. Then he wrestled Randy Orton in Germany for a 34-minute match. I forgot how freaking long that match was.
I'm like one of the people that did enjoy that match. Very long though.
Then a title defense against Sami Zayn on Raw, then Survivor Series against Damian Priest, and then here again, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. And I don't know, like there's a chance that the next title defense could be against Finn Balor as a singles, sort of match there. That would be, I don't know if I'm not going to consider Finn Balor actually more work ratey, but maybe the styles could work better here.
You remember when I called AJ Styles washed once upon a time?
Sure.
People were not happy about it.
Yep.
I think what I meant was AJ Styles, I hadn't seen it out of you in a while, in terms of Finn Balor, I don't know if I've ever actually seen it. Like I watch it, I'm like, how many matches did I actually like of his? Not nearly as many as AJ Styles. So I apologize. Finn just does his three things and calls it a day. Like that's that's sling blade, drop kick, stomp.
How old is Finn Balor?
40 something.
43. Oh my god. Oh my god. He is way older than I thought.
I'll give him this. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Gunther 37, Damian Priest 42.
When Damian Priest did that dive over the top, I thought he was done. By the way, I was like, no, don't do this. Oh dear God, he did it. Yeah, so get Gunther a new opponent. I think right now, looking at the potential WrestleMania card, if he is defending that title,
I assume he's defending his title at WrestleMania.
I don't know. I think right now I have Cena beating him.
I think I think that's plausible. I still very much like Cody versus Cena just in terms of the optics of it all. Obviously, I think Cena versus Gunther would still be also very strong, and I would greatly enjoy that. I think the situation for both Cody. Here's the thing. I think the situation for Cody and Gunther is they both need to be perceived as available going in or going into the specific Royal Rumble match. And then obviously the whoever wins that match and goes after whichever title, the other wrestler needs to be perceived as available for Elimination Chamber, because that's where you also get a Cena match, right? I assume the Chamber. I don't know. He's there. But I think as part of the sort of Punk storyline, you need both champions to be perceived as available to go after, quote unquote, right? In terms of the meta.
Right now, well, I guess I'm assuming Kevin Owens is not beating Cody. Again, could be wrong. And I'm also assuming The Rock is not going to be WrestleMania. So if we assume all that,
I think Cena goes after one of them.
Yep. And I think Randy, after last night, is very much in play for Cody as a heel. Because that is a big match between the two.
I think a big WrestleMania match they could do is Randy versus Owens.
That would also work.
That way you can also push off Randy a little bit longer for Cody.
I think my main problem is there's no clear-cut person for Cody, which is very weird because for a lot of the year, it was like, oh, maybe it'll be The Rock.
Roman,
right?
yeah,
Maybe it'll be Roman again, which would be absurd, but maybe now it feels like we know it's going to be Punk and Roman. I feel like we kind of know that now, just
sure,
based on the favor and that Rollins is being pushed up to Netflix.
yeah,
Feels like that's the direction. So then you leave the 2 world champions. No matter what you do, you got 3 big matches there, right? And then you say you add in a Becky Lynch big match and
hmm
whatever her new character is going to be that they keep talking about. Um, and then you're going to they have a lot. Like, plain and simple. There's not going to be any Jimmy versus Jay on this show. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
There's no room for Jimmy versus Jay this year.
Do we know where the Goldberg match is happening?
Nope.
Hmm. Is
He
there any?
said they said he might have 2.
Is there any shot it's at WrestleMania?
Maybe, but like I don't know why I don't think so. Just maybe because it's seen his last one, they just want emphasis on that instead.
Mhm.
I know he's still wrestling after, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
They have a lot of options, which is not a bad thing.
No, very much a good thing. That's
Mhm.
what you want. That's what you want on your booking. And
Mhm.
then last match we haven't discussed here yet is, of course, the WWE Women's U.S. Title Tournament final match. The winner, of course, becomes the inaugural United States Women's Champion. Chelsea Green picks up the win here. 8 minutes go by, and she got the win by defeating Michin, of course. Not much to say, in my opinion, about the match. I think, if anything, it's sort of indicative of, a good handshake, pat on the back win, title win for Chelsea Green. Put the title on here. This is
Yeah.
somebody that had, a very weird on and off hiring, firing relationship with WWE for a large number of years. She comes
For like
back.
a decade, it feels like.
Felt like forever. She comes back. She has this, this Karen gimmick that gets super over with the help of Samantha Irvin. It gets even more over, right? And so much so that she becomes, she's putting in great work in terms of character work. And I think obviously that this title win is a sort of congratulatory.
Yep.
You put in great work. We're not going to give you a world, you're not a world
No.
champion kind of character, but you deserve sort of something here. I think for what that is, look at it in that perspective. I think that's a very good job on Chelsea Green and I guess WWE to that extent.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. Ultimately, that's what this title's supposed to be for. So, I had no problem with giving her and Mia Yim the spotlight instead of the usual. Like,
Yeah, we fully thought
I
it'd be
expected
Bailey and
Bailey
Tiffany
and
Stratton.
Tiffany,
Yeah.
so I don't mind them going a different direction. Would I have given the belt to Tiffany because maybe you want the first champion to be someone that, no offense to Chelsea Green, is going to have a long road of success or is already established, maybe, but they are establishing this belt as the mid card belt, and I like the finish. That was my best takeaway. I thought the finish was great, rolling through and hitting the "I'm prettier."
Yeah,
That
I
was
thought
really well done.
beautifully well done. I think
I
I
also
agree
watched
with
this
that.
match. I said, this is why they didn't do the run-ins in the EO match, because they wanted Chelsea to get all the interference from Piper.
Mhm.
And everyone loved when she won. Like,
Mhm.
people like Chelsea Green. So
Yeah.
again, after her past decade with this company, good for her.
Yeah. Again, I think that's
I
a
think she's
solid win.
legitimately been part of them, like part of their roster 3 different times.
Agreed. She was in NXT, then she left, and she was the main roster, then she left, and plus she had, when she came back, she was in the tag team championships where she had like
Yeah.
4 or 5
4
different
partners.
partners.
We should also stress she did not leave. She got released
Yes, that's accurate as
every
well.
single time. So good for her.
Yes, she's finally able to come back in and be this champion. So you good on her. And again, I think it's establishing. I think in hindsight, yes, Bailey and Tiffany Stratton would be too big of stars to establish this as a mid card title. At the end of the day, this is a mid card title. So why not put in some mid card workers
Right.
and Meechin
It's
and
a
Chelsea Green?
it's a good month for the Cardona family.
Yes, that is true. That is definitely true for the Cardona family. Well, I guess that would be a good transition for us to then talk about Ring of Honor Final Battle, which, of course, taking place in the Hammerstein Ballroom
Oh,
in New
by the
York
way,
City.
I don't think we're not recording. No, we're not recording. We're not reviewing Winter's Coming, right?
No, we were going to do a bunch
Okay,
of
good. The
previews.
worst one yet. Continue.
The worst winter is coming, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Winter has come and it was bad.
Game of Thrones, way better.
Ring of Honor Final Battle, of course, Hammerstein Ballroom, New York City.
The worst ever.
I very much, by the way, very much predicted the GCW versus AEW feud.
Boy, did you nail that one.
I was like, man, if these effing comments, if you want to spun this into some sort of rivalry gold, I think it got something here. And guess what happened? Chris Jericho shows up on a GCW show. So I imagine there might be some GCW involvement in the show in some capacity. I don't know what. I guess maybe just Matt Cardona. And then, of course, maybe there'll be some AEW involvement in the GCW show in the new year. And by the way, and maybe that's why the rumors of that Chelsea Green mixed tag match got canceled, because maybe there's AEW involvement in the show. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I just want to say, the optics on all of this stink. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Of the GCW AEW feud?
Yeah, like pulling Willie Mack, pulling Ricky Starks.
Yep.
Especially Ricky Starks, man. Like, let this guy work. Jesus. That, but also now if it turns into like Cardona beats Jericho, well, that's not gonna happen. If Cardona beats Jericho and then Ricky Starks saves the day or something, okay, I'll come back and be like, fine. But right now, I'm not enjoying it. And by the way, this card, we're never gonna review this show, so it doesn't matter. But
Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Yeah, Ring of Honor Final Battle. This is the worst Ring of Honor card I've ever seen.
It's an interesting card.
Awful. It is not interesting. Awful.
I feel like we said the same thing about the last pay-per-view and it ended up being fairly good.
No. That had Mark Briscoe on it. This doesn't have Mark Briscoe on it. The best wrestler on this show, hold on.
He's looking.
I mean, it's Athena, and then Commander. Like, come on. Like, this is not good.
Oof.
This is a bad show. This is
what are you talking about? Scotty, what are you talking about? We're coming back to the Hammerstein Ballroom. We have all the Ring of Honor legends here. Chris Jericho, Billy Starks, Dustin Rhodes, the Ring of Honor legends. You remember him?
The only Ring of Honor that might be worse is immediate post-elite Ring of Honor. Like, immediate. Not because it got better eventually, right? With the luchadors and everything. Like, this is bad. Who the fuck wants to say Jay Lethal versus QT Marshall? Who wants to see that? This is a big boom, AJ. I don't want to see this.
Scotty, Jay Lethal versus QT Marshall is the only like pure ROH of old match on this show.
You're not wrong.
Crazy. I think the only other like Ring of Honor of old wrestlers on the show are the Righteous.
I didn't know Blake Christian was on this show.
Yeah.
Never mind, we're back. We're good.
Yeah, a very interesting show. You have the return of the vibes for Ring of Honor to Hammerstein Ballroom. And like I said, like my big issue here is Jay Lethal,
there's Willie Mack,
the Righteous, QT Marshall. Those are the only people on this show that are like true Ring of Honor of old guys. And that's 3 people out of 20 people so far announced, I guess, maybe for the show. I don't know.
Let me tell you what, man. Paul Heyman's rolling over his grave, and he's not even dead. Wow, looking at this show. This isn't the Hammerstein. It's like we just listen. Athena and Billy Starks. Listen, I will give appreciation to. I understand the big aspect of that match. This has been going on way too long. Okay, I'm just gonna say it here. It's been going on way too long. Athena should have been on AEW 6 months ago, minimum. Okay, and listen, good for her. She's going to Tokyo Dome. Happy for her. Great. That match for me is simply not enough to save this show. Now they should have a good match because we're not doing the weird like, oh, is Billy with Athena or not? I think it's just going to be a straight up babyface versus heel match, which is what they should have.
Yep.
But plain and simple, these other 5 matches do nothing for me. Chris Jericho versus Matt Cardona might be the worst world title match of the year.
Let's go match by match here, of course.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're getting ahead of yourself. I know you're excited.
Because with Ring of Honor pay-per-views the past, 2-3 years, we've been like, oh, at least at the end. Do you know what happened 2 years ago at this show? Briscoe's FTR 3.
Yeah.
Despicable.
Yeah, to go back to my big old point, I'm talking over here being like, we can't get a Briscoe on the show, we can't get a Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. I'll take OGK. I'll take somebody. You got all these guys in your roster. It's like you can't find a spot anywhere on the show for any of these people.
Yeah. Okay, so last year's final battle. I'm sorry, we're just okay. I just need to make this point before we preview this. Sure. Here's last year's final battle card. Okay, all right. Triple A mega title. Hijo del Vikingo versus Black Taurus.
Where's our lucha match? We always typically get a lucha match on the show.
Exactly. The Mogul Embassy versus TMDK. What? All right, sure. Tony Nese versus Ethan Page, which, if you remember, was better than expected. Okay? Before you instantly shit on it. Nyla Rose versus Vixen, I have no memory of. I'm not going to lie to you.
I believe that was a squash, anything.
The survival of the fittest. Yeah. Dalton Castle versus Brian Keith versus Kyle Fletcher versus Lee Moriarty versus Commander versus Lee Johnson. That match rocked.
Was that the one where Paul Walterhausen came out?
No, that was him and Johnny Nitro.
Oh,
whatever
you're right.
The guy's name is. That was earlier this year. Wheeler Yuta versus Tom Lawler. All right, I don't remember that at all. Shane Taylor versus Keith Lee. I don't remember that either. But fight without honor. FTR and Mark Briscoe versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and John Moxley. This show certainly doesn't have that on here. A random Eddie Kingston versus Anthony Henry proving ground match because we're in the middle of the Continental Classic. And Athena versus Billy Starks. Hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa, that's the same thing as this year. What? But look at the rest of the card. There's not a single match on this show right now that is work rate.
Well, I guess if we wanted to look out for anything, we don't have a I guess it would be work rate, I guess, but the pure title match. Anyone on this show?
We do now, actually.
Oh, we do.
I just saw the graphic like a second ago. It's Lee Moriarty versus mystery opponent. So it's an open challenge.
All right. All right.
Give me like RVD.
Oh, I could see that. Maybe a GCW guy. Could be RVD. Could be I would pick I would pick a Ring of Honor guy of old, like a Roddy Strong or Kyle,
someone good.
Look, you don't have that lucha thing. Give him some sort of CMLL.
A lucha thing. You mean Kalisto?
Oh no, him versus Big Hetchy. Let's get him in. Pure rule, the lave style.
Why isn't CMLL on the show? Oh wait, it's a Friday. Never mind.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it.
That's tough.
Well, let's get to the actual show, match by match. Main event, of course, Ring of Honor Women's World Title match: Athena versus Billy
Presumed
Starks.
Main event. We don't know that for sure.
I thought it was announced as a main event.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know.
But yeah, it's again, you kind of already talked about it, but one of these things of this rivalry has been going on since I believe TK purchased Ring of Honor. It feels like it's been going on forever. This sort of this story between these two wrestlers, and this is a story. This is a match that should have had a proper ending a year ago, I believe. And instead,
when the last one happened,
they immediately backtracked on the match, the result of the match, immediately following it, and here we are a year later doing it all again. This point, you can't do it. It has to be a straight up babyface versus heel. And at this point, it has to be Billy Starks winning the title officially. We have to get the title win. We have to move on. Athena, I get keeping her around or whatever, but for whatever it is, but you got to move her out of this company, out of this Ring of Honor. She has to move out into something else.
Here's a take that you may take wildly because she's been champion all year, but I feel like with Athena, they did to her what All Japan did to Kento Miyahara. I feel like they've done nothing this year. Either of them. I don't remember anything Athena's done this year.
Yeah.
Last year was different. Last year, it felt like, every time she had a big match, you were watching it, you were hearing about it. This year, I don't even know if she's had matches on Ring of Honor TV.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's had 6 matches this year. Would you like to guess any of her opponents? And keep in mind,
Oh, 6 title matches.
6 title matches this year.
Okay.
1, 2,
she's had
3, 4,
6
5, 6.
matches?
3 of them, 4 of them were on Ring of Honor, and 2 of them were not.
Okay.
Can you give me some guesses
Sheeta.
on some opponents?
I remember Sheeta.
Hikaru Shida at Supercard of Honor, correct?
Queen Aminata.
Death Before Dishonor, correct?
Those are all the pay-per-views. Okay.
Those are all the pay-per-views. You got 2 Honor Clubs and 2 non-Ring of Honor shows.
Non-Ring of Honor shows?
Yes.
Did she do a Battle of the Belts?
Correct. She did do a Battle of the Belts against who? Battle of the Belts
Red Velvet?
Correct. Battle of the Belts 10 versus Red Velvet.
There's not that many Ring of Honor wrestlers.
No.
So
can you name the other I'll say indie show that she worked where she's been?
Oh, she was on the Scott D'Amore show.
Correct. Against who? Who would Scott D'Amore put a big time match against?
Giselle.
Yeah, Giselle Shaw. Yeah, and they got 2 Honor Club matches. Who are low level women wrestlers in the AEW Ring of Honor sphere?
No clue. Did she wrestle Yuka Sakazaki this year?
Was
that last year?
Not in a title match. Yuka Sakazaki. I don't know when she wrestled Yuka Sakazaki in 2023 of March 2023 for the title. Supercard of Honor last year. I'll give you a hint. One of the matches for Honor Club was a Halloween Ring of Horror match.
Oh, so it has to be Abaddon.
And the other one was a best 2 out of 3 falls in Texas against Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose. I got it.
Gotta blew that one.
100%. Thank you.
Anyways, this match definitely needs a result of Billy Stark getting the win, and I think this sort of long out drawn story has jumped the shark a year ago at least, and I'm to the point where I'm not excited about this match at all.
I think there
is
something to say that maybe Athena can get to AEW by winning the Dynasty match.
I think that is plausible. I think it's certainly plausible.
But I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I like the idea of the Ring of Honor representative having her last Ring of Honor match as a Ring of Honor representative and then immediately leaving Ring of Honor.
Cheating is okay when it's what should happen. I think that match is very weird, by the way. We'll talk about that with
Samson.
No, we won't. It won't matter though. We won't even have the full match.
We won't.
No, we won't, because Stardom has to do a 16-person tournament in 3 days. Whatever. Which they're putting more into it than others. So
sure.
Instead of just being like, here's 4, which they could have just done, and no one would have batted an eye. Yeah. See, this match, I don't know. My most interest, because I haven't seen her wrestle in a while, is where is Billy now in her growth as a wrestler? That's about my main takeaway. Do we leave this match and we're like, okay, she's ready for this? Hell, I was ready for her to win last year, so even if she wasn't ready for this, is she ready for it? That's kind of my take into it. I'm not going into it like, oh, this is a big blood feud or anything, because I don't really think it is. I've seen it before. It's been a year since it happened. I don't think it needed to be moved out a year. This isn't Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. No offense. I think 6 months ago, Athena should have been in AEW. Hell, again, I say it again. I think a year ago, she should have been in AEW. Let's move on. Have Billy win. Hopefully it's a good match because, like I said, it's been kind of a forgetful year for someone who, again, has been champion for almost 800 days.
And I think, if you want to compare that to the Cody Roman stuff, I think Cody Roman, where that was a great, successful, well-promoted, well-booked sort of, maybe not well-booked. It got very confusing very quickly. But, in terms of, not going with the decision for Cody, one WrestleMania, next year going to the decision with Cody to beat Roman. Here, similar thing, not going with Starks last year where it felt like all the momentum was hot for her. this year, thinking that maybe a year from later it would be just as hot, maybe even hotter, and Starks getting the win. This feels colder than ice, and it feels like it's not going to work at all. So whereas that felt like the right idea in some ways, this feels correctly like this was the wrong idea. We should have put Starks having the title win last year. Sadly, by her winning the title last year, we would have never gotten the women's world TV title. So I guess that is what it is.
There's one benefit, but ultimately, like for me, I just don't think we needed to. Athena should have lost to Willow. That was a year and a half ago. Okay,
I know.
So that's where I keep coming back to. Like that should have happened that long ago.
Yeah.
So again, that makes this tough. But listen, hopefully Hammerstein's into this. Hopefully Hammerstein's loud. A loud, packed, exciting crowd can make a match better. And I think these two are very capable of having a good match. I hope that's exactly what they do. Because at the end of the day, this is the only show on the card that looks good in any way, except for, I guess, Survival of the Fittest, because those are interesting. But other than that, that's where we're at. I think Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch should be fine.
Yeah. Also on the show, maybe a main event if it's not the other one, not the presumed main event. Chris Jericho versus Matt Cardona, Ring of Honor World Title. I cut you off earlier when you said that this you believe is the worst major world title match of 2024.
It could be. It could be for sure. It's like the ceiling for this match is like 2.25. You had a rant about Matt Cardona like 2 months ago. Say he was bad. I have a rant about Chris Jericho every time he wrestles. This is not a good combo for Ring Post Radio, folks.
This is our version of hell, I think.
Yeah, instead of the Ring of Honor World Title match.
Mm-hmm.
Ring of Honor World Title match.
Nothing screams Ring of Honor's return to Hammerstein Ballroom than Matt Cardona versus Chris Jericho.
I almost want Pure Rules back with Jonathan Gresham. That's how much I don't want to watch this match. Almost.
Was Jonathan Gresham right? Hold on. Was Jonathan Gresham right? Hold on. Should we start respecting Jonathan Gresham a little bit? He might have been right here. He might have been correct. Maybe we should respect his PWI ranking a little bit more. But just in hindsight, it's like, man, this guy might have been right. Because the World of Honor does not exist anymore in this company, it feels like.
No. Honor is gone. There's no honor.
Honor does not feel real right now.
Oh my god.
We gotta restore the feeling, Scotty.
I'm not here to say Chris Jericho's like the worst Ring of Honor world champion of all time. Like there's worse people that have held this title. Obviously, Mike Logan.
Yeah.
There's legitimately Davey Richards. There's bad people that have held this title. But when it comes to wrestling, which Ring of Honor, by the way, is all about in-ring wrestling, this is one of the worst matches they've ever had. And it's booked by Tony Khan. The man who bought Ring of Honor and said we'd return Ring of Honor to its glory or whatever. There's no glory. There's just shame. Jonathan Gresham was right.
From WrestleTix, as of December 2nd, the distribution for the show was 979 tickets.
Too many.
Granted, again, that was December 2nd. I don't know where they're at now. I would
sell my tickets.
I have to presume they have sold more tickets since then. But
you know something funny? I saw Wrestle Cringe be like, "Oh, this Ring of Honor show is really sad. The only thing to save this would be like a GCW invasion." That's a Wrestle Cringe post, buddy. Wrestle Cringe, you nailed it. Now repost yourself. This man, we have Mark Briscoe as champion.
Yep.
He defended it at one Ring of Honor pay-per-view. One.
Finally, a multi-decade story. I mean, to be fair, it's more of a destination, right, of a title win than the journey. But yeah. All blown away for a
Honor is dead.
All blown away for Jericho versus Matt Cardona. Next up, What
do you think your star rating for this match will be?
I don't know. I think the ceiling.
I know you're gonna watch.
I think the ceiling is 3 stars. Like, I think that's the ceiling.
It would take a lot to get there.
Honestly, I think what they should do, and they haven't done, and they won't do, and what would honestly make this match better
Big
is
Bell the world title.
right. Agree. No, legitimately, I think what they have to do to make this match more exciting and better would make it a hardcore match. Legitimately, I like you like Chris Jericho in a hardcore setting has become, I think, better than a Chris Jericho in a non-hardcore setting, and obviously Matt Cardona, we all know his background in that setting as well. And you have the Hammerstein Ballroom, so you'll get some ECW heads in there as well. You just call it promote it as a hardcore rules match, right?
I almost wish there was a ECW original wrestling in this match instead.
Oh, what do you mean, Chris Jericho?
Yeah,
Matt Cardona, ECW original.
Yeah, he had the one-legged pants. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Title match. This is also a Texas Bull Rope match. The Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defend their titles against the Righteous, Dutch and Vincent.
I like the idea that Tony Khan wanted to pay respect to ECW, and it was like, oh no, the WWE ECW, not the real one.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I love that. I love that stuff.
I can't believe that the Righteous are still around. Like, I don't want to be mean, but I'm gonna. Why did you? Never mind.
All right. Immediately backs out.
Why are they signed?
They have an interesting vibe and a good enough character for Ring of Honor television.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
Oh God. This is the World Tag Team title. This actually hurts me more, I think, than the World title.
2 years ago. What match was 2 years ago for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles?
Oh, that was the FTR versus Briscoes 3. One of the great all-time tag matches.
I don't remember if it was that one or the other one, but a top 2 match of the year for that year.
Yeah, it got a 9.64, 588 votes, 5.5 star rating from Dave. Dog collar match.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Texas Bull Rope, I still think this has the potential of being really good.
I understand you have all the belief in Dustin Rhodes. I get this.
I like Dustin Rhodes. I think he's a solid wrestler.
I know you do. But
he's a natural in the ring.
This match is going to be the match that probably like you walk away from like, oh, pretty good.
Here's the thing. This is the match where everybody's bleeding and Dutch and Vincent are obviously wearing all white, and you just have a shot of big old Dutch, standing up, bull rope on him, and he's like covered in blood stains all over his white suit. His suspenders are stained in red. This is that kind of match where you're going to get a bloody affair, and it's going to be here. And I think, and that's good, right? That's what you want. That's what I would want.
Hey, you know Athena won the Ring of Honor Women's World title at the Final Battle 2022?
Moving on, Ring of Honor World TV title match, Survival of the Fittest, of course, elimination match. It feel like a little bit of a gimmick? Can I say this? A little bit of a gimmick that Tony Khan had a lot of success for that one Survival of the Fittest match, and now he's doing them like on every single show.
Is that true? Did he do it last time too?
You can look that up if you have it pulled up.
What was the name of the show?
I don't know. I feel like he did it at Death Before Dishonor. I feel like he did it at Supercard of Honor. I feel like he does it all the time now.
Yeah, you're right. He did do it at Death Before Dishonor.
He did not do it at Supercard of Honor. So I'm wrong there.
Final Battle. So 3 out of the last 4 Ring of Honor pay-per-views have had Survival of the Fittest.
This one features the champion Brian Cage defending the title against Willie Mack. He's allowed to make this booking. AR Fox, Mark Davis, Commander, and
Mark Davis, man,
and Blake Christian.
I don't like no. Sorry. Shout out to Tam Nakano. That's a joke that only I know.
Well, I know it too. I guess technically.
You know it too.
A not published joke.
No. This is a match.
This
feels like the match of everyone that Tony Khan doesn't want to deal with, and Commander.
And I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
How does Blake Christian always end up back here once a year?
I know GCW does not have a contract with Blake Christian, but they should find a way to pull him from this match.
AEW does.
I know,
contract
but,
with Blake Christian.
They should find a way to
pull him. That'd be a great
him.
Gimmick.
Yeah, if I was fully living out a GCW versus AEW rivalry, I would last minute pull Blake Christian from this match and say that due to GCW, he cannot make this booking. Why not do the whole Ricky Starks thing and pull him? You
know why I would do that?
Rivalry.
You know why I would do that? So I don't have to watch him.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Ricky Starks should 100% appear at this show.
Because you know what I would do, Scotty? You beat me to it. You know what I would do? You pull Blake Christian and say that GCW has allowed Blake Christian or has not allowed Blake Christian to make this booking, and AEW has to find a replacement. Who comes out? Ricky Starks. And he wins the title.
I just want to say I've been thinking about this. This is I agree with you. This Ring of Honor is the type of show where Hook should be.
Agreed.
This is where Hook should be. This is where we should be doing the bullshit. Oh, you're not my friend, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly thing. This is where we should just throw all of that. Instead, we have this.
I would love if this match was the return of Ricky Starks.
Commander should win.
Just doubt it. I don't know I think Commander might get far. I don't know if he'll win.
I thought you were going to say he should get fired. I was like, damn.
Whoa,
that's crazy. Hold on.
I think he'll get. I think because he's in the Continental Classic, I think they're going to have to push him to get far. I don't know if he'll win it.
Yeah, it's a weird booking for him, huh?
Yeah.
Poor Mark Davis, huh? Let's just, I understand we had to push Kyle Fletcher. I almost called him O'Reilly. I understand that. Yeah. He's the proto star. He's doing a really great job. I heard great things about the Mark Briscoe match. Shocker. Mark Briscoe delivers. I know. It's done. I feel bad. He finally comes back. And it's like, oh yeah, Aussie Open's dead.
Yeah. Great tag team. Just now completely dead. And maybe he'll come back around one day, but not any day.
I mean, probably not. Kyle Fletcher is
so hot right now.
He's on the ascent. He's one of the only hot things in the company.
He is so hot right now, and his wrestling is great. Anybody? Thumbs up?
I wish he would do something different with the hair. I don't like the hair.
The lack of it.
Also, I watched. This is a very off-topic point, but I watched that NXT show from last weekend. Whoever Miles Bourne is.
Yes.
If him and Kyle Fletcher are the children of Randy Orton. Continue.
Yes. Brian Cage, I think, is going to win unless they do the fun. Blake Christian can't be there. Announce that the day before the show or something, and do Ricky Starks as a surprise. I think that'd be fun. Please, I beg of you, please, just something fun on the show.
I would love the Revolution to be televised.
I would prefer it. Arguably, I'd prefer
I'll take it streamed. It could be streamed.
Hey, and look, if a Ring of Honor TV deal is apparently getting shopped around all the place, hey, let's have that Revolution. Let's have that Revolution be televised. That's all I'm saying. I think that'll be a fun little bit of booking. Ring of Honor Women's World TV title match. Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch getting the title match, I think, because of such a great performance in the last show, right?
She won that, right?
I believe she did. I know
she did. Almost killed herself.
She almost died, but I believe she did. Yeah. What do you think about Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch?
Should be pretty good. I got no problem with it. I like Red Velvet. I like Layla Hirsch. I have no problems. Look at this. See? No problems with this match.
Fine little match.
Fitting of the Ring of Honor direction. Arguably the most fitting on the entire show. Because it's oh no, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Everything else is oh, this or that. Then we got Jay Lethal versus QT Marshall.
Do you think Big Boom AJ makes an appearance?
God, I hope so.
Yeah. New York City, not far of a drive.
Boot off his foot. Hits QT Marshall to help Jay Lethal get the win. And then they all do boom in the middle of the ring.
The entire Hammerstein ballroom. Boom.
That would be Sinclair Ring of Honor.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know why. It just feels right.
Yeah, it feels right.
They need a match on this show that just blows your socks off out of nowhere type, you know? Like, I don't know who, I don't know what, but they need it.
Of these 6 matches, if you had to predict the match with the most potential to be great, what match is that? Which has the highest potential to be at least 4 stars? Tough. Tough.
I probably the women's main event.
Sure. Yeah.
If it main events and Billy wins, like that's how you reach the highest potential for that.
I think
Either that or survival of the fittest.
I'll throw in the tag.
If you say Jay Lethal versus QT Marshall, I swear to God, I will drive myself to Georgia and kill you.
Well, that would of course only be able to reach 4 stars at Big Boom AJ and Big Justice Show. We all know this. I think maybe not the highest potential, but I think a potential is that Texas Bull Rope tag team match, because if it becomes a bloody brawl, a bunkhouse brawl-esque sort of thing, I think it could, reach that height.
Isn't New Japan in America tonight?
Yes.
Why don't they just book some of them on this show? Keep them for a couple days.
Where's Hazuki? Why can't we get Hazuki on the show? Hazuki versus Red Velvet. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Red Velvet. Yeah, but Hazuki would have to win a title match. That doesn't happen. I'm just trying to save a show that is not good. Okay.
Well, speaking of other shows,
how much of this show do you think I watch?
The main event for sure. 100% the main event. I think everything else will be based on recommendations.
Yeah, there's no way I watch this live. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about AEW World's End, of course, taking place in December 28th, Orlando, Florida, at the Edition Financial Arena. I don't know. I got to look up to see
the home of the WWE live event as well. Orlando, Florida. Same night.
Very nice. Very nice. I forgot they are doing a live event the same exact night. Can't be good. Can't be good. I'm gonna imagine.
I think they've sold 9,000 tickets for that show.
Jesus freaking Christ! Holy crap, that's insane. Yeah, the Dynamite ran here last year, December 27, for New Year's Smash, for 5,729 people. And I'll see if I can get a WrestleTix update about the tickets so far for World's End. But we don't have much in terms of announcements for the show. We have a couple. Obviously, we're doing this so far in advance because we're not going to be recording live next week. But we have a little bit. We do have, for the AEW World Championship, a 4-way match. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy versus Adam Page versus Jay White. Thoughts on that main event match? Well, I don't know but actually if it's the main event match, but thought of the world title match for AEW.
It's odd. It's not the fatal 4-way I expected. Christian Cage is so weird. I hate the contract thing. That's just me.
Are you saying Christian Cage is not in this match?
I understand this, but I hate the contract thing that he has.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
This should be good. I can't see it being bad.
Agreed.
I think this benefits like the Jay White and the people that don't like Jay White because it's going to be fast moving. I finally got Hangman Page in a world title match. It took all year, but I got it. So golf clap. Orange Cassidy, I didn't need back in the world title match, but that's fine. I would have preferred a 3-way. But how do you feel about this Jon Moxley story?
I don't think it's living up to its initial hype. I think a lot of the Orange Cassidy stuff hurt it, and I think continuing that into this 4-way is not helping it. I think if you separated it a little bit, maybe that would have helped it a little bit more. But it is one of these things of, I think one of the bigger issues with the overarching story plan here is that it's showing to me that there aren't a lot of people willing to fight for AEW. You know what I mean?
I read that they brought up finally on Collision, why is Ospreay not giving a shit
Oh, really? Did you see what he said?
I just said like I just saw a tweet that said like they finally acknowledged on commentary that Osprey just has not at all cared about it, which I was like, oh, that's good. I mean, not good, but good, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, it's good that like, oh, let's ask the question. It's bad that's like, oh yeah, why isn't he doing that?
Yeah, it's one of those things of this whole story feels like it's supposed to showcase some people that care about AEW. And as we talked about on the show previously, it's really what it feels like. There are people that care about AEW and then immediately splinter off to go after their own individual goals, right? Willow, Garcia, Private Party. Orange Cassidy's still sticking around to fight for it. But Hangman Adam Page, Jay White, Christian Cage, obviously to a certain extent. They're all fighting for the title. They don't necessarily care about AEW. This isn't about AEW for them. And for Orange, it is still to a certain extent, but that's the only vestige of that story here in this match. Here, it's just about a bunch of people fighting for the title that have very varying degrees of why they want to win the title. And it's not about the main story of what Moxley is trying to convey. I don't know. I think it's one of those things of I think Moxley as champion has initial good ideas, but when they play out, they're not always my favorite. And I think this is just another thing to add to that pile.
I would love Darby to win this title as soon as possible.
Which to me feels like that's Revolution, right?
Yep. But I would love him to win it. I think like watching this angle, like my problem is like, who do I get most interested in AEW? And besides Hangman Page, who is in this weird role of like a heel babyface tweener thing,
which I think he's ruling. I think he's doing great in it.
Oh, I've said it. I'm going to continue to say it. Hangman Page, great at his job.
Yeah.
Fantastic wrestler. One of the only guys that I consistently like no matter what he does. I don't think there has been any clearer thing that he should have been the one to beat Bryan Danielson, though, to me, than this past couple months. Off that swerve win, right? Goes into that. Like, the way they've handled all this is so confusing, and it makes this match, I think, hurt in terms of the way people watch it. Like, yes, Jay White deserves a win. He's beaten Hangman Page back-to-back shows.
Yeah.
And he's been the babyface built up.
Fully deserves a spot here.
Right. Orange Cassidy, lost. Get out of here. Like, we don't need
bricks.
And then Hangman's very interesting. He's lost back-to-back matches, but people love him. Yeah. So it's like, people are into him and Moxley. So again, like, this is the thing. Like, there's pieces that work, but we're pushing them all together and just hoping it magically makes sense. I don't like the Moxley story right now, which is a shame because I was so into it when it started. I'd like it to see it take a turn here, maybe, hopefully. I think it's actually watered down everyone involved.
Including
tend to agree. The Death Riders themselves.
I tend to agree.
Claudio and Pac don't.
I'll say Claudio is, by being in the Continental Classic, has sort of shielded himself a little bit.
This is true. This is very true. He in a way, he lives in two worlds, kind of, Speaking of which, by the way, World's End ticket update, because I had
I have it up as well.
Oh, well, I have a lot of tickets here.
Okay, go ahead.
So World's End, 5,133, which was a day ago.
Correct, as of yesterday.
Your WrestleTix.
And 2 weeks, by the way, till the actual show. So they have plenty of time to sell more tickets.
And then Royal Rumble, 46,350. All right.
Part of that ticket thing, by the way, 5,133. Last time they were in this building was last year, 5,729. So basically what their current setup is at 5,731. If they hit that.
What building is it?
This is the Edition Financial Arena in Orlando, Florida. Would you like to know what the main event, by the way, of that show was? You would all recall New Year's Smash main event last year?
Sure.
It was the Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match, 2-on-1 handicap. The Devil's Masked Men defeat MJF in 1 minute and 48 seconds. That was this show.
Give that a dump.
Yeah, that's a big old doom, in my opinion.
That stunk.
Last year, World's End, of course. Last year, World's End, Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, where, of course, Saturday night's main event just took place. 10,000 basically in that building. So nowhere close to last year's pay-per-view, but on track to do better than last year's arena of Edition Financial Arena.
So essentially my thought on the main event, by the way, it'll be a very, very, very good match.
I agree. At the end of the day, I think these are going to be very good matches. It's just the bill and everything is just it's not. I'm not necessarily willing to put. I'm not there to put in the qualifier of bad on.
No, but it's getting there
on the build. But it's one of those things of like it's kind of just weird. I guess is the best way I can put it.
It's not good for your world title feud.
But, you know, a thing that does have a bad build, Scotty, and that, of course, is the Dynamite Diamond Ring match between MJF and Adam Cole. I shouldn't say bad build because it has all been very logical build, right? Everything kind of has made sense, and I understand how we got here. It just has been a lot of bad, sucking, shitty, stinky poo-poo of a build to get here for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Is MJF finally going to lose this fucking ring?
Who fucking cares? We lose. We have to watch this. We lost. At the end of the day, we lost. Who wants to watch this match? I don't like MJF against good wrestlers. You want me to watch MJF versus current Adam Cole now? I don't see a world where this is good. I truly don't.
Me neither.
Like, and it's for the stupid ring. I feel like it's just the emphasis of how do we make this just a little worse. Who cares about the ring? Who cares? Who cares about this match? Who cares about this feud? I stopped caring a year ago. Over a year ago. This main evented the first All In.
And here we are.
Hating every bit of it.
Uncorks hot sauce bottle. Here we are. Can you believe it? The two of us.
Look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought? I don't care about this match. I'm not excited about this match. I don't enjoy MJF's work this year. I don't enjoy Adam Cole's work since he's come back. This is not good. This is if we could give an award to most overrated, it would just be these two combined. This stinks.
We had earlier in the show we talked about the most overrated people. These two names came up constantly of super overrated, especially like MJF. You know, he wins the title and disrupts Ospreay's great title reign to wrestle Oku and Templario, and then go into this feud with Adam Cole. Adam Cole has just been a lot of suck this year. Granted, coming back from injury, but just
this year he's only been around for like a couple of months.
It's been a lot of suck. I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
It's just been really bad for both of these guys.
We can give the scorching hot take of who wins most overrated.
Yeah,
they're not on the show.
We'll hold that. We'll hold that take for another day, for another episode. But yeah, it's not great. I don't think it's great for this match, for this show. I do not give a shit about it. It has go away heat. I don't want to see it yet. I'll be strapped in maybe. Now, Scotty, which match are you more excited for? Dynamite Diamond Ring, MJF versus Adam Cole, or Chris Jericho versus Matt Cardona for the Ring of Honor World Title?
Excited is a bad word.
Gun to your head.
Which would I rather watch?
Yes.
Adam Cole and MJF, and here's why. Out of the four people, I actually like Adam Cole the person. I don't have anything against the other three.
Sure.
I just I like Adam Cole as a human.
Well, Chris Jericho.
I root for Adam Cole. Like, I want him to do good because, you know, he's been through a lot of ups and downs the past couple of years. So I root for Adam Cole. But either way, it's not a fun time, these two matches.
Yeah.
Which one do you think would be worse?
This one. This one. I think I'm going to bang my head against the wall.
Probably right, which is terrifying.
Yeah. We had two matches announced from Collision last night. So spoilers, I guess, for Collision. AEW International Championship match, Konosuke Takeshita versus Powerhouse Hobbs. That's a shirt ripper in my book. That's some good stuff right there, baby. That is some good stuff right there. Very excited for that match immediately. So
Powerhouse Hobbs is getting me to watch another Rampage match this week because they did a big tag with
Mark Davis.
Hold on.
And
It
Lance
was
Archer.
him and Mark Davis versus Takeshita and Lance Archer. Like, come on now.
Yeah, baby.
Here for that. Here for that. I love Powerhouse Hobbs. I love Konosuke Takeshita. This, folks, hear me out here. Get ready. Strapped in. You ready? You ready? This is going to be better than Ricochet and Takeshita. And I think it's going to be easily better.
I agree.
I
agree.
It's beef versus beef. And they're good. Hobbs has looked incredible since he's come back. Like, he didn't miss a day. I could just throw a shot at Adam Cole, but I won't. I'm very excited for this. Very excited for this. What are you looking for?
You said beef versus beef, and that made me think, has Miro wrestled once this year? And the answer is no.
No. He's still getting paid, though.
Last time he wrestled was World's End last year against Andrade.
Oh, my God. That match was so...
It was the CJ Perry match, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Andrade put Miro over on the way out, and then they never used Miro again.
Well, I don't know if they never used Miro again. I think it's Miro never wanted to be used again. Do you think
they got divorced immediately after that match?
He got a full year's Miro got a full year's pay, and he didn't wrestle.
But he's living the dream.
Yeah,
taking money and doing nothing.
Do we know if he's even injured? I don't know. I mean, his back again. I doubt it. Anyways, so
he breaks backs. Powerhouse Hobbs breaks backs. He'll lose, but he breaks backs.
And then, of course, for the AEW Women's World Title match, Tijuana Street Fight, Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May.
Hold. Tijuana Street Fight?
Correct.
Why is this a street fight?
Because Thunder Rosa faced Deonna Purrazzo and had a street fight against her, and then Mariah May had a street fight or something against Anna Jay, I'm going to guess, and now they don't like each other, and now it's a Tijuana street fight. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
You gave me enough reason. I'm in.
It's in Florida, and there's a Hispanic population in Florida, so they're going after that market.
Mariah May wins. There you go.
Yeah. Do you think it's all, there were some people out there, initials BA, that found this match very weird, very strange, right? To do this one, knowing that Toni Storm has returned, why not just do the Toni Storm match in terms of booking?
Because
obviously
Toni Storm's a brand new wrestler.
We all know that match is heading to Australia, but do you think it's weird to just sort of insert Thunder Rosa here, or do you think the booking wise of why Thunder Rosa's here makes sense?
Have you followed the Toni Storm gimmick that we're doing right now?
That she is timeless Toni Storm playing Toni Storm?
New, young, inspired Toni Storm. So essentially, in her mind, there's been no Mariah May feud, so that's why this match isn't happening.
Yeah, that's a good point. That actually is a great booking point. Why is this match not happening? Because Toni Storm just recently got signed to be All Elite, if I remember correctly.
This thing, right, that we've been going on here ever since the Owen, man. Mariah May's entire reign built to that Mina match, just for it to be 11 minutes done on TV. We move on to Toni, and now Toni's we're not even moving on to Toni.
Do you think Tony Khan was told that Mina Shirakawa was not available for the show, and he was like, "Ah, shit"?
Oh yeah. She's not available. She has to do some random tag on, or no, she has to go to lunch with people. Have you seen that? Have you seen that thing? No, you probably haven't.
What?
Stardom's selling a lunch with Mina and Waka before Queendom.
Interesting.
Wild.
Interesting.
Wild.
Interesting. And where would the sweepstakes sign up be? Just was wondering for my friend.
I don't know. I just see it posted on Twitter with the bad graphic. It looks like word art.
Great. Great. It would be so much easier for that pesky Stardom booking contract stuff. It'd be so much easier if Tony Khan could just take Mina Shirakawa out of Stardom, right? I think we can all agree. I think all of us Stardom fans would agree.
The funny thing is, she doesn't need to be there for that show, outside of the lunch. And I don't even think the lunch is that day or the third. It could be the third, so it makes it worse. I don't know, man.
And then we don't have any other matches firmly announced for the show yet, but we do have, I guess, technically 3 matches that will happen here. And that is the Continental Classic semifinals, where the Blue League winner and the Gold League runner-up will face each other, and then the Blue League runner-up and the Gold League winner will face each other in the semifinals. And in the main event, semi-main event, we don't know exactly where. I think it should be the main event. For the winner of the Continental Classic and the AEW Continental Championship, it will be those 2 semifinal winners facing each other. As of right now, leading the Blue League block is Kyle Fletcher, followed by champion Kazuchika Okada, Mark Briscoe, Daniel Garcia, Shelton Benjamin, and already eliminated the Beast Mortos. And then on Gold League, you have 3-way tie at the top: Ospreay, Ricochet, and Claudio, with Brody King, Darby underneath there, and already eliminated Commandair. So we're looking at a possible Fletcher, Okada, Ospreay, Claudio, Ricochet, maybe a Mark Briscoe, sort of semifinal situation, and then the final. Out of, I guess, those 6 people, who do you want to see in the semis, and who do you want to see in the finals for this show? Well, yeah, yeah, of course.
I mean, if you're really asking, I want to see Mark Briscoe.
Briscoe only has 1 match left against the Beast Mortos.
Hey, I just want to say, I want to be honest with people. I hate the Continental Crown.
Oh, hold on, real quickly. Mark Briscoe only has. I hate to say this to you, Scotty. Mark Briscoe only has 1 match left against Beast Mortos. Kyle Fletcher also only has 1 match left. I believe, against Daniel Garcia. Fletcher has already beat Mark Briscoe. So for Fletcher...
No, Mark Briscoe beat Fletcher.
Oh, you're right. Correct. So Briscoe has to beat Mortos, and Fletcher has to lose to Daniel Garcia, and then Fletcher might still be the runner-up, but Mark Briscoe can be bounced up. What does Okada have to do? Okada has to...
Lose them all.
He has to lose or draw against Shelton Benjamin.
I can't wait for our year-end show when we take a look back at the signings of AEW this year and be like, Okada,
buddy,
what is this?
Do you think who's been a better signing, Shelton Benjamin or Kazuchika Okada?
Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin's had more memorable matches already.
I think also Okada destroyed your like New Japan fans of AEW. Like it has like that. Not only has like his match quality been worse this year, but it has deterred New Japan fans away from watching this product.
Mm-hmm.
Has so many negative connotations.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's the situation.
So
Garcia
Fletcher final. Is this what we're agreeing on?
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin has 2 matches left. Even if he wins both, he would get to 9, I guess. But he lost to Fletcher.
Do you think there should be an option C on this title? Because I do.
Option C. What's the option C? Where someone gets fired?
Whatever. Option B. Whatever the.
You mean the X Division thing? Where the
I would much prefer if that did that. I think that would really benefit this belt and this tournament. So Ospreay Fletcher final.
Yeah, that's what I think would probably make the most sense.
Is it crazy? The idea of Ospreay Okada does not excite me at all.
Yeah, I think I don't think that's great there. I don't think it's great there at all.
That's a real showing of this year in All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah. Yep. Ospreay has 3 matches left, so he has a potential of what? 3? What is that? 9. 9 plus 6 is, what is that? 15?
That's 9 plus 10, 21.
Claudio has 2 matches left, so even if he wins both, he can only get as high as 12.
Oh boy.
Ricochet also only has 2 matches left, and he can get as high as 12. So,
I already want a not Claudio. I already want an Ospreay Darby rematch, so just give me that in the semis. Thank you.
well, that
I
will
haven't
be
even seen the first one yet.
that match happening December 18th, of course. Dynamite.
We will be missing it.
We will be missing it. We will not be talking about it live.
For the
and
people.
I will probably upset. We should just record a bunch of matches of the week and just put them in.
If it opens the show, you'd see it.
Well, I guess that's true. I guess that's potentially true. Anyways, well, that is AEW World's End. A show that is interesting, I guess.
It looks better than last year's. I'll give them that. Let's dive into the. Here we go.
Probably.
Here we go. I love doing this. I love absolutely rattling your brain with
what happened last year.
World's End 2023.
Yes.
We'll start with 0 Hour because that matters. Will Nightingale versus Chris Statlander, which wasn't good.
It was weirdly disappointing. And they turned things around the next year, but so good on them.
TNT title, right to challenge anytime, anywhere, battle royal, won by Killswitch.
Okay. All right.
Hook defeated Wheeler Yuta.
Okay.
Let's get to the real card.
The meat.
Claudio, Danielson, Garcia, and Briscoe defeated Brody King, Jay Lethal, Jay White, and Roosh in a classic.
I forgot that was billed as like an all-star extravaganza, but it was also billed as like the losers of the Continental Classic all face each other in 8-man. So that's something to look forward. Well, I don't know if they're going to do that because they're doing the semifinals on the show.
So that was that, and then you had Andrade versus Miro.
A weird, not bad. I don't think it was a bad match. It was weird.
It has a 5.32 on Gauge Wrench.
2.5. That makes sense to me.
Tony Storm versus Riho, which got a 5.07.
I don't remember anything about that match.
Swerve Strickland versus Dustin Rhodes, which got a 4.29.
That was supposed to be Keith Lee.
Yeah. Chris Jericho, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting versus Big Bill, Ricky Starks, Konosuke Takeshita, and Powerhouse Hobbs. That got a 3.43.
Why did that match suck? I don't remember anything.
2.5 stars from Dave, so it was not good by anyone's stretch.
Why did that match suck? I don't remember anything about the match.
Julia Hart defeated Abaddon, 3.18.
God, this show did suck. Jesus Christ.
Adam Copeland defeated Christian Cage in a no DQ match before Killswitch gave Christian Cage the right to challenge immediately after.
Yeah.
So the TNT title switched.
Was that their big brawl?
Yeah, it was no DQ.
That was good.
Eddie Kingston defeated John Moxley in the Continental Classic final.
I imagine that was great.
And Samoa Joe defeated MJF before the devil was revealed.
Yeah.
Not a great show.
Not a great show. Not by any stretch of the
It will be benefited this year by having the Continental Classic semis and final.
I guess you could do the All-Star Extravaganza 8-man. Instead of doing an 8-man, I guess you could do a 6-man.
Yeah.
Right? So we might still get that. And that could be interesting. You know, if that's maybe like a Mark Briscoe. Hold on. Mark Briscoe, Danny Garcia, and the Beast Mortos. Oh, hold on. What a team there. That's
Shelton.
Team. Versus who do we got?
Shelton, Claudio, and
Command. No, it would be Commander. It would be Garcia. Let's just look at the bottom. Garcia, Shelton Benjamin, the Beast Mortos versus Brody King, Darby Allin, and Commander.
Well, that would be good. That would be fun.
You could make it an 8-man, I guess, if you want to add like Briscoe and Ricochet on either side as well, but we'll see.
Well, Ricochet's a heel now, right?
Kind of. Is he?
Well, he's turning heel.
Oh, do you feel like he's turning heel? Oh, because the MVP.
Everything he did on Wednesday was heel, so I'm guessing yes. He cut the dickhead promo, and then he used the turnbuckle on Brody King. Everyone was booing him out of the building.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember his promo where he forgot his words? I can't forget it.
Well, you watched it yesterday, to be clear.
That's true.
All right, let's move on.
That was actually the only thing I saw beforehand. I saw that Wednesday night because I was like, he like turned his head, stopped. He's like, and then said something. I was like,
oh, he turned his head to look at the MVP card.
He still looked like he forgot his sword.
Perfect. All Japan and Noah, they both have 2 New Year's Eve and New Year's Day shows happening. They're big time shows for these companies. We'll start with All Japan, of course, December 31st on Tuesday in the Yoyogi National Stadium, second gymnasium.
This is a show.
This is an interesting show. Let's go down the match card here. It's as follows. It's New Year's Eve All Japan Junior 6-man tag. Musashi, Seki Yoshioka, Nagao Taishin, I believe he's a young lion, Fuminori Abe, Seigo Tachibana, and Yuto Miyamoto. Those are the 3 teams, or I guess 3-person teams there. A fine little junior thing, I guess. A New Year's Eve Rumble. It looks like the only people announced so far are Hikaru Sato, Hideki Suzuki, and Suwama. Any thoughts on Suwama, I guess? One of those last little matches.
He's out of here. Well, he's not. He's staying part-time, but not great.
This is being billed as, according to the All Japan website, the Pro Wrestling 2024 single match. Dan Tamura versus Daisuke Sakamoto. I mean, hold on.
I'm intrigued by that.
I'm intrigued. I'm not a big Dan Tamura guy, but Daisuke Sakamoto, okay, all right. Can we get him into the company? Can we get Sakamoto fully into the company?
Should be a hard-hitting match, so I think it'd be. I mean, look at this card; it has a chance to be the best match on the show. It's not. There's not much competition here.
Yeah, a 50-second red and white pro wrestling battle 6-man tag. Rei Saito, Naruki Doi, and Senor Saito versus the team of Hokuto Amori, Cyrus, and Jack Kennedy versus
Jack Kennedy.
Yes.
Pretty sure he went to high school with me. That's not exciting at all. That's a rough match.
Yeah, that's Naruki Doi had a good year, and here we are in a weird 6-man.
The Saito. I mean, one of them's in a good match. Not good. Big match. Let me rephrase. That's tag team. That's tag team of the year winner right there. Tokyo Sports Award.
And honestly,
clean sweep.
Probably my vote for tag team of the year as well.
Clean sweep.
We have Atsuki Aoyangi returning, having his return tag team match on the show. Nice. Him teaming up with his brother Yuma to take on Ren Ayabe and Ryuki Honda.
Sure.
Fine. Good little match.
Fine little tag.
We have the Asian tag team title matches here, where champions Yuma Anzai and Rising Hayato defending the titles against Kento Miyahara and Ryo Inoue. I'm actually excited about this one. This
best
should be
match
good.
On the show.
That's
best match on the show, 100%. This feels like the match that's like we know who should be main eventing this show, but they're not. Oh, you would like Anzai and Kento in a big match? That's nice.
Too bad. Get him in a tag.
We're busy elsewhere. The fall from Nakajima and Miyahara to this is similar to the fall of Nakajima himself.
I don't know if it's as bad. I wouldn't say go as far. I don't think it's as bad.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, Kento's kind of been...
That was a match of the year contender. This main event will not be.
Oh, yeah. Main event, of course, Triple Crown heavyweight title match, Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Jun Saito. Like I said, Saitos have had a great year. I think they're arguably tag team of the year. Davey Boy Smith, 6-month contract, hopefully coming to an end. Does he lose? Now, here's the problem. All Japan doesn't often do losing in your first title defense, and this would be Davey's first title defense. Does
Charlie
he beat
Dempsey
Jun Saito?
back.
What's that?
We thought Charlie Dempsey was the bad of this. Charlie Dempsey winning the Triple Crown would have been a breath of fresh air compared to Davey Boy Smith Jr.
I don't know.
Maybe not breath of fresh air, but
his work so far has been fine. Like, nowhere as close as bad as EC3 showing up earlier this year. Remember that one?
I think. Yeah, I do. Oh, that was bad. I did watch that match because everyone said it was so bad you had to. Yeah. Okay.
It's not great. It's nothing great to last year.
This main event perfectly encompasses my falling interest in All Japan this year. I have very little interest in their year-end show, which is a shame. I will watch some of it because obviously. But
we'll talk about it. We plan to talk about it.
Yeah, I will watch this match, but this doesn't interest me at all. The Triple Crown, for the better part of the past couple of years, has arguably been the best world title on the Puro scene, and now it's here. So, yeah, this should have been Kento winning the belt.
Yeah, I think the plan probably still is Kento to win the belt at some point. You know,
Hopefully before the carnival. I do not want to wait that long.
Back-to-back carnival wins for Kento. Maybe. I guess that's a plausible story.
I can see them have Anzai win it if Kento's champion.
True.
Run back what was last year.
Yeah, it just all the roads felt like it was going to Kento, and then we had Jun Saito pop out of nowhere. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, I think the Saitos have improved a lot. I think their year has been really great. I think in ring, Jun Saito had great matches in singles competition this year. So is Ray. So it's not something that I'm necessarily actively thinking is going to be bad or not. It's just something I'm not necessarily excited for. I don't think it's the biggest match they can probably do. So it's just one of those things of it's a disappointing main event. And I think as a show overall, it's sort of a disappointing show.
They're ending the year on a whimper in a year that I did not enjoy from them.
And I'm someone who did not as much as the year as 2023, but I did enjoy 2024.
It was great.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the issue as well. And we'll talk about this more in the year-end review. Is that I think 2023 is a great year. 2024, I think I'll say is good. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just going from great to good is a tough transition for a lot of people, and obviously you're one of those people, Scotty.
I think my best way to cap how I feel about All Japan, I haven't watched them since September.
To be fair, you did have a tag league in there as well, so I won't blame you.
Yeah, but September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch Davey Boy win the belt. I didn't care.
I did. It was good. It was a good match. It was better than I expected.
I replaced them with oddly enough, Dragon Gate this year. Ooh. Weird. But Yamato's the man, so that was an easy switch.
I've heard secretly the Dragon Gate has had a great year.
Yeah, they went back to the old guys, which was the reason I watched it again, because I didn't really enjoy the young guys they were pushing at the time.
Yeah.
So they went back to Yamato.
You're a big hip hop Kakuta guy?
No, I can't stand him. I think he's bad. No, and Shun Skywalker in his current gimmick annoys me. So, yeah, I replaced them with Dragon Gate. It'll be fun to talk about on our year-end show. Just kind of my few thoughts there. And
I've also been recommended Dragon Gate, and it's a promotion that I have not really been watching this year. It's something that
dip our toe.
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll discuss at our year-end review. That's a little teaser for you.
Mostly because I saw Yamato win both belts today. I got very. They even gave him the junior one too. Well, not junior one, which the secondary one, I guess, because I don't think he's a junior anymore. He's big. He's bigger, but whatever.
He's a big boy.
This All Japan show, underwhelming. I think that semi-main though should be very good, and that's what I'm looking forward to most.
I agree. I certainly agree.
And Dan Tamura versus Sekimoto. I think that should be good too.
Mm-hmm. They also have some other shows. They're going to have some Korakuen Hall shows the next 2 days, I believe, and there's some title matches announced. I believe they're defending the Saitos are defending the tag titles.
Yuma versus Abe's on that show.
Yep. Suwama has a singles match against a Young Lion, so that's interesting, especially with
rookie Young Lion.
No, he's been around since I think September or something like that. So I guess new.
No big deal though. That
still
match
a big deal.
Ahead of time, big time.
Yeah. Let me quickly pull up. I didn't have it ready, but let me quickly pull up just to see what
I got right here.
The two shows. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on the 2nd, which is the first one, every year they do a New Year's Battle Royal that main events that show.
Yeah.
So that will be the main event most likely. Suwama versus Taishin Nagayo. I believe is his name. Musashi, Seki Yoshioka, and Saigo Tachibana versus Shotaro Shino, Atsuki Aoyagi, and Ryo Inoue.
That's actually a fine little 6-man. I'm interested in it.
Good 6-man. You have Kento and Davey Boy versus Hartley Jackson and Jack Kennedy.
All right. All right.
I like Hartley Jackson. I don't know who Jack Kennedy is. I truly don't. I just pops every time I hear his name. Yuki Miyamoto versus Dan Tamura for the Gaora TV title.
Sure. First defense.
All Japan TV 6-man. title match. It will be Hokuto Mori, Kuma Arashi, and Cyrus versus Yuma Aoyagi, Fuminori Abe, and Hikaru Sato.
Sure. Sure.
The Saito family, Jun Rei, Naruki Doi, and Senior Saito versus Rising Hayato, Yuma Anzai, Riki Honda, and Renayabe.
That's the
second. So the second's usually lesser of the two.
Yes. The third I have it up here. New York Junior Special 10-man tag, Rising Hayata, Aoyagi, Atsuki Aoyagi, I should say, Musashi, Dan Tamura, Tasha Nagao versus Seigo Tachibana, Yuko Miyamoto, Hikaru Saito, Seki Yoshioka, and Naruki Doi.
Oh, so it's all the juniors.
All the juniors. Cool. Tag match, Honda and Ayabi versus Hartley Jackson, Jack Kennedy. A lot of Jack Kennedy. A lot of Jack. Strap Jack in those Ken heads.
Strong.
6-man tag, Kenta Miyahara, Dave Boy Smith, and Ryo Inoue versus Cyrus, Kuma Arashi, and Hokuto Mori. Special singles, Yuma Aoyagi versus Fuminori Abe.
That match is like, oh boy, if that was a year ago, right now, I'd be amped. I'd be like, here we go. After their 2024s, still looking forward to it because I have hope, but definitely has taken a step back. This World Tag Team title match, though, that looks good.
Yes, the Saitos defending their titles against Hideki Suzuki and Daisuke Sakamoto.
Yeah, they should just keep booking Daisuke Sakamoto.
I fully agree.
Get him into the carnival.
And then another special singles here, Yuma Anzai versus Shotaro Ishino. That I'm excited about. I'm legitimately excited about that.
That's a good show.
That's a good show. Better,
I think, than I think on paper it's actually better than the big year-end show.
Yeah. So those are the three big shows, I guess, for the new year for all Japan. So an interesting year, sort of ending with a whimper in a lot of ways, but we'll still talk about it and see how we feel about it. Noah.
What we do, baby.
That's what we do, baby. Noah has also their New Year show. Big time show for Noah.
This show is crazy.
Loaded up, it feels like. Of course, starting off the Rumble has a bunch of people in it.
You get a shot at any title of your choice.
Oh, that's the winner?
They announced that I think yesterday.
I'll tell you this much. It's going to be Shuhei Taniguchi, and he's going to go after the junior belt.
I hope it's Yu Owada.
Yeah, that's a good shot as well.
I like when young lions get shots.
GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Title Match, 3-way. Hayata and Yohei versus Amakusa and Junta Miyawaki versus Alejandro and Kai Fujimura. Fine. Top of the card, it's fine.
It won't be long.
It shouldn't be long.
I hope it's not long.
8-man tag team match, New Year limit break. Go Shiozaki, Mohamed Yone, Atsushi Kotoge, and Hajime Ohara versus Kazuyuki Fujita, Shuji Ishikawa, Tetsuya Endo, and Black Menso Ray. Tetsuya Endo popping up here all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is weird.
An interesting match.
It's a limit break thing, so they're doing a little.
I like limit break.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Go Shiozaki and Shuji Ishikawa wrestle each other for 30 minutes in like Shinkiba First Ring the other day,
and
it was good. It was good. It was good stuff. It was very like meathead wrestling.
I'm into it. We have a special singles here. This is, of course, a shirt ripper right here. Brother versus brother, Galeno Del Mal versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Yeah.
The last match of Wagner.
Yeah, presumably, right?
Noah,
his contract seemingly ends with
Noah. He said he's leaving. So.
Yeah, he said he is leaving. He held the Dr. Wagner Jr. We don't know where he would be going, but if he's leaving, if it's official, like he is leaving, then one would presume he's going to put over his brother Galeno Del Mal as he walks out the door.
Can't wait till he's in NXT.
I really hope he's not in NXT. I pray he's not in NXT.
Galeno Del Mal should win, obviously, and be pushed in Noah.
Galeno Del Mal.
If they replace Wagner with Galeno Del Mal, that is the best case scenario for Noah.
Yes, I think Galeno Del Mal and Noah is a great spot for him right now.
He's very young.
Where do you want Dr. Wagner 3 to go?
CMLL.
100%. I agree. CMLL. Oh my God, do I want him in CMLL so badly?
But isn't his dad AAA?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes, he would have to jump ship to CMLL.
That would be great. There was a time when the Lucha Bros were leaving. I would have loved to see these two just go and really fill a void in AEW, but I don't want Wagner to go and get lost there. But I don't want him to go to NXT either. So I don't know.
What if he moves to another Japanese company?
That would be great. If he went to like New Japan, or well, maybe not New Japan.
He could do this match and then show up in the Rambo.
Rambo?
That's a fun little surprise spot, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I would love if he stayed in Japan. That'd be awesome. I would love if he didn't go to the two major companies right now, but I think that's where he's probably trying to go.
Agreed.
And if they're competent, they're going to sign him. So I guess if he goes to WWE, he has a chance to return to Noah.
Does El Hijo the Dr. Wagner Jr. have does that tickle your fancy if I say El Hijo the Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Konosuke Takeshita?
That absolutely tickles every part of me, yes. that sounds wonderful.
That sounds great. Strap me in, baby.
Oh, so he's going to DDT. All
right. That's why Endo is here. Endo is here.
You know, it would be great if like we could just take Ishii off of Dynasty and just put Wagner in there. Doesn't make sense, but hear me out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. A Noah 25th anniversary
match for me.
A Noah 25th anniversary special singles match. Kano versus Kenta.
I'm not even kidding. I'm so excited for this. Like, I'm embarrassingly excited for Kenta in the year 2025. But here's the reason why. Out of the past couple of years, where has Kenta been Kenta? At the beginning of the year in his one Noah match per year. And Keno, by the way, is trying everything in his power to get Kenta to join Noah again. And I think that is very inspired booking. And I think that's exactly what Kenta should do. I think if Kenta can work out something with Noah where he can work a schedule where he does his indie dates and works their big shows, I think that's perfect.
Because doesn't Noah have a relationship with like Defy?
Yeah, they have a relationship with a lot of people.
Where I believe Kenta is the champion.
Yeah. Why not? He can do Progress. He can do all these other things that he likes to do. But I'm very excited this. Kenta is the lover. Shouts out. Very excited. I think this match is going to be really fun. And that's coming from someone that couldn't be more down on Keno these days.
Or Kenta.
Kenta, like, I know what I'm getting.
But it's one of those special pairings, right? Where it's like two guys where it's like, they're kind of down on them, right? In terms of the work output this year. But then you match them up here and it's like, oh, baby, I'm back. I'm back.
This is the closest thing I'm going to get to Keno versus Katsuhiko Nakajima ever again. So, and I love those pairings. And I like Kenta better as an all-time guy, obviously. So I'm excited. Kenta back in Noah. It feels right. It just feels right.
Yeah. GHC junior heavyweight title match, Daga versus Eita. It feels like Eita, I think, challenged Daga last year for the title and lost, and they're doing it just much like Ring of Honor Final Battle. They're doing it again here.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a show. It's a big.
Shout out to the Lion King.
It's a big old sure. GHC National Championship title match. Manabu Soya versus Masa Kiyomiya. Hey, let's go.
Sweet. That's sweet right there. We're here for that. That should be great.
Yes.
And Masa Kiyomiya should absolutely win. Yes. No, he needs to win a title. Manabu Soya can go to the GHC next.
Oh, okay. All right. That could be interesting. That could be fun.
Though this Ozawa fella, I'm booking him to win personally.
Yeah, we'll
I don't even know who he is, but I know he does like a Phoenix Splash and like all these different things, and he's exciting to me. We'll talk about that in a second. But Masa Kiyomiya, this guy, man, he's been great for a long time. Give him a belt.
I agree.
A belt. Bring back what the national belt's supposed to be about, you know?
Next up, GHC tag title match. Naomichi Marufuji and Takeshi Segura versus Jack Morris and another lover.
This is being titled as the biggest X ever.
So it's going to be a letdown, is what you're saying.
Yes, because Jack Morris called it that, and Noah is running with it.
So who do you think well, they're not exes, by the way. They're lovers.
They're lovers now. The biggest lover ever.
The biggest mother lover you've ever goddamn seen.
It's Viscera. Rest in peace, by the way.
It's sexual. It's sexual chocolate, Mark Henry.
That would be crazy.
Lowers glasses. All right.
If you actually think about it, that'd be insane. Takashi Segura and Mark Henry. Oh man, I don't think Mark Henry can wrestle, but there's an IGF tournament happening in China, and no one told me.
What? Huh? Inoki Genome Federation lives? Hold on, what?
New Japan IGF Infin Antonio Inoki Memorial Tournament.
Okay.
The IGF lives?
The IGF lives?
Yuji Nagata versus Oleg Bolton?
I'm starting freaking out. What's the name of the tournament?
I don't know.
Great. Okay, great.
I don't know.
We have no idea who Lover's going to be.
Who X is going to be?
Do you think it's a WWE guy?
No.
Do you think it's an AEW guy? Definitely not.
No,
think so.
It should be. I don't know. Who the hell? Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Maybe.
I'm trying, man. It's not going to happen, but I'm trying.
I guess we'll see.
Is there any free agents out there we don't know about or aren't knowledgeable enough about? Or
I want it to be El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Just wears a different mask.
It's Pentagon.
That'd be crazy. That'd actually be very exciting.
Yeah, the Daga connection. I don't know if they're actually friends, but AAA connection, I guess, formerly of AAA.
WWE connection. You could just say that since he's going there.
Daga's going to WWE?
No. Penta.
Well, yeah. Serum Miedo. I know, of course. Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be funny if
it should be RVD. Remember when RVD did the Noah joint? That was great.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was specific, by the way.
We'll find out. I hope it's Viscera. That's the. Well, I mean, I doubt it's possible.
I do not hope it's Viscera.
I doubt
that would be terrible. They're revealing that like before the show, so obviously it's not going to be that exciting.
Double main event action here.
Keiji Muto.
Special singles. New Year's first dream is what the billing here is. Oka Sasaki.
Oh, first dream. That's a different show. They can't steal that.
I don't know what to tell you. Well, it's under the
dreams.
It's under the Wrestle Universe banner. It is Oka Sasaki versus the guy that got him into wrestling, Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's pretty cool for Sasaki.
100%.
And it's not main eventing.
He's getting his first dream.
Oh. I mean, this will be fine.
I think this would be good. I think
Oka's always fun.
Oka's going to go out of his way to be great here. To try,
the only problem is we're not going to get the electrifying entrance because he's in the new gimmick. So,
that is true. We are going to get spooky mage wizard Shinsuke Nakamura.
But he's Shinsuke in Japan, so they won't care.
Oh, that's true. And if anything, his gimmick is a little, great kabuki, a little Muto-y, so they might like it. Actually,
he's going to be U.S. champion at this show. Good for him.
I didn't think about that. WWE U.S. champion Shinsuke Nakamura. That's true. Do you think? So you're saying Oka Sasaki's going to beat Nakamura and then challenge for the title?
Yeah, that's absolutely what I'm saying. They're just like Yoshiki Inamura. They're going to try to get rid of Oka Sasaki next. Nah, they like him, so they're not going to do that.
I liked him.
I like him. To be fair, he's been a good first year guy.
Is this still his first year? I thought it was his second.
He started November 2023 with one match. This is his first full year, 2024.
Hey, I think he's got a lot of potential. I mean, this first full year, 87 matches under his belt.
Yeah,
good.
He'll be GHD world champ.
Yeah, at some point. I don't know exactly when, but he will at some point. And I think they're obviously.
I wouldn't be shocked by end of the year
of 2025.
Yeah,
maybe, or maybe next.
What
year.
else do they have going for them?
Next year title match, Oka Sasaki versus I don't know, whoever.
Checks notes. What is this guy's name? Taishi Ozawa.
Yeah. We'll see. And then your other main event, GHC heavyweight title match, Kaita Kiyomiya versus Ozawa. Thoughts on Ozawa?
I'm all the way in. This guy has said that Kaito like cheats on his wife or something. I don't know. The stories were weird.
I don't think it's cheats on his wife. I think it's that he has a girlfriend, and that's something that is not
cheats on her. Yeah, I don't know.
He smokes.
He's been doing some nasty business in this. It's crazy. I think he should win. And you may ask me why. And here's the reason. I don't know. He's 28 years old.
Super young.
They're acting like he's this new wrestler. He's not. I guess he was like around before, and then he didn't debut until he got to Noah.
He's been wrestling in Europe a lot.
Yeah, listen, this guy, I'm intrigued. He's in there with Kaito. Kaito's had the belt for a long time.
I mean, technically, this is kind of his return from excursion for Noah.
And this is the biggest show of the year.
So do we think that maybe he could beat Kaito Kiyomiya, or is this going to be another Yoshiki and Amora situation?
Nothing is that situation. That is a special situation.
Yeah.
I think there's a real consideration to have him win, but Kaito's on his ace run, so maybe not. Maybe they want to go full year with Kaito.
But it's now a good time for Kaito to lose the title. I mean, he's had it forever.
Do they want him to put over this 225 days? Chill out.
Whoa,
forever's a bit much.
Whoa, hey.
Listen. I think there has to be serious consideration. Do you want Kaito to put over this new guy that's creating waves and is kind of a mystery, or do you want him to put over like an Oka Sasaki a couple more months down the road? That's kind of the discussion I'd be having.
Especially for Noah, you think if Ozawa beats Kaito Kiyomiya here, that's going to jumpstart some excitement, or at least that's the hope in terms of a booking attendance.
He's a made guy,
right?
And then hopefully that excites people. So I would do it.
Yeah,
he's fresh. I'm down. He's new. I remember seeing this on the card, and you and me were like, "Okay, it's not an old guy,
not an old guy.
Fuji, this is good."
Yeah,
baby steps. And I feel like based on the athleticism this guy has shown, they could do some crazy stuff in this match. So
I agree. I'll be down for it. I'll be down for something new and exciting.
Out of all the world title matches,
Scotty, twist my arm. I'll be down for new and exciting in wrestling.
Out of all the world title matches in Puro to start the year, so this, the Triple Crown, and Shota Umino, this is definitely the most interesting one to me.
That's probably.
I like the unknown. I wish Shota Umino was unknown. But we know all about him.
Too much about him.
Him and then Zach and Ricochet too, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, Shota versus Claudio. So Zach and Ricochet.
Imagine if it's Shota versus Claudio. Just imagine. Oh boy. Anyways,
wait.
I think Noah is an interesting show. Of the Puro shows, am I excited for it the most? Definitely more excited for it than the All Japan show. New Japan show? I don't know. It's on the line.
New Japan? Oh, hold on. Let me look.
Wrestle Kingdom? I think it might be on the line. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't really know what definitely more than Wrestle Dynasty. I don't care about that show at all. No, I'll give the edge to Kingdom because it's the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, that's fair. We'll talk about obviously Wrestle Kingdom more. I think that when does that episode come out? 2 weeks? I believe that'd be 2 weeks.
I don't know. It's up to you, man.
I believe
2 Sundays from now.
And yes, 2 Sundays from now is when that episode will be coming out.
On the 29th.
Correct. I like how we're recording. This is just a joke from you and me. We're recording Chris Sampson first, and that's going to come out later.
Sure is.
Anyway, Stardom has 2 big time shows for the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. That is, of course, Stardom Dream Queendom happening in the Ryogoku Korakuen Hall.
Mania. Sorry, continue.
And then Stardom New Year Dream will be happening January 3rd in Tokyo Garden Theater. We'll start, of course, with Dream Queendom, December 29th. Your main event for that show is a match. Hold on. What is the main event of this show? World of Stardom title match. Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamatani. Not a surprise based off the year of Saya Kamatani and everything, but
this was supposed to be the main event last year.
Yeah.
So everyone that I've seen say this is the biggest match in Japanese women's wrestling in the next couple weeks or months. Say thank you to Rossi. I know you hate him, but he booked this first.
I would also disagree with that. so severely disagree.
Oh, I agree too. I agree. I'm with you. This card is a lot of rematches, which is a shame. And a lot of rematches I'm not interested in. But we push forward. Tan and Sai have good chemistry. So it'll be interesting to see what the heel aspect brings into this. If it's overly dramatic, I'll be very upset, but it's Tam.
Lowers glasses.
It's Tam plus Saya Kamatani heel version, so there will be dramatics. And this is my first time previewing the show because one, the card's not fully out. I mean, all the main matches surely are.
Yeah. You're not gonna preview a 8-man tag that has a bunch of random people.
I do because I am a dedicated.
That's true.
I am a dedicated Joshi podcaster. Thank you. I think Sai's winning.
Ooh.
Because I think they want to get to Saya and Micah at All-Star Grand Queendom. I'm starting to think because the Micah push just never ends. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going. So that's where I think we're going. But honestly, I'd prefer if Tam just retained.
These are two people. I've never been a big Tam Nakano fan, but these are two people that their year of 2024 I have been so lacking interest in. You know, I was a huge Saya Kamatani fan, and then obviously the injury and the return and the heel turn, and Tam Nakano, not really.
There's a lot of stuff that she's gone through.
But not a big fan of her to go start with. Then you have the whole Grand Prix nonsense with her. And it's just a lot of it. The main event of the show is just two people I do not care for right now, and let alone with Stardom. And I cannot, Scotty, in all good faith, cannot be excited for this main event. You can't get me to be excited for this main event. I don't even think, Scotty, I don't even think you can get me excited for this main event. And the large part is because I don't think you are excited for it.
I'm not. I've seen it, and I don't think they're going to reach the heights that they have before. They've had really great matches previously, and the problem is not a lot of heel Kamatani's excited me outside of like one match, and that one match happened in a sold-out Shinjuku face. This is not Ryogoku. Now I'll give it to them. This is selling very well. The show is selling very, very well. Now there's international aspect of that and so on. A lot of these shows are going to sell well. But it's selling very, very well. They're sold out in multiple spots, and it's because of Tam being your main event. And that's honestly why I would continue it. But there's a suspicion in me, like I said, they go to Saya and Micah at Queendom, maybe get the IWGP on Tam eventually. So
what's the attendance looking like so far? What's being sold? Or are you just hearing that things are selling so
no, it's multiple sections. So they only have like 3 or 4 sections in Sumo Hall open. So they're doing really good just based on paper.
Last year, by the way, 3,063 was the attendance for Dream Queendom 2023.
Yeah, they're gonna beat that.
Well, hey, that's good. That's something that that's something where this is the main event. Tam obviously is super popular and everything, but it's one of those things of I question, it's when I watch WWE being super hot and selling all the time, and I'm not super into WWE. It's like you sort of start questioning, what do I like? What do I, what sort of thing of as a reviewer, as of looking at this as a whole, it's like this is attracting an audience. What am I missing?
I think Stardom is benefiting from the international popularity through AEW as well, because this is when a lot of foreigners head over. So I think that's why a lot of tickets are selling as well. It's it's a weird time in Stardom. It's just not a card I'm very excited about, but we will continue through. Tam's a draw, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Wonder of
Always
Stardom
has
title
been.
match: Natsupoi versus Starlight Kid. That should be good.
Should be good. They've had interesting matches in their run. They had a 30-minute draw once upon a time that I did not enjoy. That was years ago, though. Starlight Kid's a better wrestler now. I think Natsupoi's a better wrestler now. On paper, this should be the best match.
That is plausible. Certainly
based on their year. Based on their years as well. And I think Starlight Kid should win this because, again, you want to build to the future. And, you want to keep her happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Two special singles matches, it looks like. Konami versus Shuri and
These
Micah.
are not special.
Okay. Well,
they are. No, that's what they are, but they are not special, man.
Konami versus Shuri and Micah versus Natsuki Tora. Konami Shuri is interesting, but Konami is
on autopilot and has been since she signed a contract.
Shuri also. I feel like Shuri has a light year.
Yeah, she hasn't done anything. They put her in the as I like to say, they have really Bushi-roaded her with the she's older, let's have her do nothing. You know how they do that. She's in like the Goto role these days, which is like, we need a good match, let's put Shuri in it. But
yeah,
their match earlier this year was not good, so hopefully it's better.
Bigger stage.
It just comes down to if Konami's trying or not.
Yeah.
But 4 of the 5 matches announced have hate in it. So,
yeah. And then obviously Micah versus Natsuki Tora,
which is a rematch as well from the world title match. That's Micah getting her win back.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Tag team match: Goddess of Stardom Championship, Momo Watanabe and Tekla versus Hanan and Saida. I believe Hanan and Saida won the tag league, correct?
Tag league. Yeah. God, this needs to be a title change.
Look, we're gonna do this in our 2024 year-end awards. Not year-end awards, but a year-end conversation. And talking about the good and the bad of all these promotions, right? A little spoiler: the good. I have liked that they've pushed Saida and Hanan as a tag team and sort of grew them, put them in as a team together and sort of grew them throughout the year and got them to this point. It feels like it culminates here, right? In a big old title change here for them. As a Saida fan, I enjoy that. As a Hanan fan, I enjoy that. So I agree. It has to be a title change here. Everything feels like it leads to here. And I would love for a title change here for Hanan and Saida. I would greatly enjoy it.
I think this will definitely be a title change. I think Tekla's going to do her yearly try to sign with somewhere else. Anyways, so Wing Gory have probably been the true bright spot of Stardom from beginning of the year to the end. Whether it be Saida, whether it be Hanan, whether it be together, they have genuinely been the most consistent, most exciting, and best part, I think. And this should be their moment. I hope it's their moment. And I hope that I hope it's a good match. Momo and Tekla haven't been a very exciting tag team as champions. They kind of just have the belts because that was to get the Konami story across, and these were the 2 hate members they picked. But again, we're hoping Sumo Hall raises up everything, right? We're hoping the big show raises up the matches that maybe I'm not as into. It's a very weird year that I'm like Queendom last year wasn't even that big of a show at all. It had Megan Bayne and Julia. The world title match was Micah and Suzu, which obviously was a rematch as well. Yep. A lot of rematches at these shows lately. But obviously we know all the backstage stuff, what was going on.
Sayori Anu versus Mirai.
Yeah, it's very weird the year that's changed. Like last year wasn't all too great. It was a 4-match show essentially, and then you had to book the January 4th show and so on. And I think that's what's hurting them again. Is having so much over such a period of time. If you had Mayu and Azumi on the show, obviously it'd be a lot better, without a doubt. So that kind of, again, they're playing with fire here of having so much in so little time, including their biggest show. I just wish it wasn't all hate matches. Like,
Yeah,
it's overkill after a while.
yeah.
And I do think Saya probably.
I think it's been overkill for 2023.
It's been overkill. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Wingori winning is probably the one thing I'm looking forward to most here on this show because of their year. And they've had some great matches consistently. So I'm hoping this is their moment. And I'm hoping Momo and Tekla show up for them.
Yeah, I think that's the light.
And I think they will show up for them, I want to say.
I hope so. I think Wingori here is sort of the light of this sort of show.
Yeah, it's essentially, it's this theme of Stardom this year where it's like stars and then everything else happening. The faction stars consistently has been good. Hazuki, Mayu, Wingori, like they have been kind of the bright spot. I see people tweet all the time that aren't like super duper Stardom fans, but they're like, man, if it wasn't for stars, I wouldn't be watching anymore. Like, I can't fight to that.
And obviously, there's other people missing from this card. You know, Hazuki, there's a chance that maybe she beats Mercedes Moné tonight. I doubt it. But you know, maybe
it's a Tokyo Dome match that she has to have. So no, but
yeah. Anyways, they also have a show January 3rd, Tokyo Garden Theater in Tokyo, Japan. Only 2 matches announced so far, it looks like, but we got a tag team match here. Maika and Hanako versus Yu and Chihiro Hashimoto. Yeah.
If the people listen to my podcast, you know my thoughts on Hanako. I don't enjoy her. She's the rookie they have chosen to push, which I understand. You should do it. She just hasn't lived up to the spot. And now she's going against Team 200 kilograms, who have been fantastic as always. We'll see. I'm intrigued by Maika and Hashimoto.
Yeah. There's potential for something here.
The way they set it up, it looked like it was going to be a singles, and then Hanako was like, I want to be in the match. And I was like, God, why? Like, why?
Hey, you know, you get a 200 kilogram, appearance. I guess I'll take it.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat the pin. Well, I don't know. Will she eat the pin?
Yeah, she's gonna eat the pin. I know Yu is going away. She's taking a break after like the 10th for a while. So she is going on hiatus, but Hanako will get pinned.
And then, in a sort of surprising announcement, Tam Nakano, not a title match, maybe a title match. I don't know. We'll see. Probably. I don't know. Who knows? Probably not. Tam Nakano versus Unagi Sayaka, returning to Stardom after being away for a number of years.
After being fired.
After being fired. Thank you. Yes. Will be returning to the company and challenging Tam Nakano, current champion. Possibly not a title match. We'll see.
This is not a surprising booking by Stardom. They are facing the one person they do not enjoy that same day. So trying to do the all Cosmic Angels and bring them together to kind of push tickets is not surprising. Unagi's going to lose.
Also book as much indie talent as you can, I guess, maybe another company can.
Here's the thing. They need to do something different from Queendom. So bringing in outsiders is, I still think Mako makes this show. I think they booked Mako, but haven't yet. They're running out of time. The show's very soon. This is the only 2 matches, but Unagi and Tam will probably be your main event because Tam main events, baby.
That's true. That is certainly true.
It will be a match.
It will be a match.
It will be one of the matches of all time.
I cannot say I'm excited for this, but
Unagi's work isn't very good. She's very popular. So
yeah, she's very popular. I've always sort of liked her a little bit.
She's running her own Sumo Hall show.
I know, like she's very popular.
Yeah, so I think this is actually her coming in and probably getting Tam on that show eventually.
Oh, maybe that makes sense. That makes sense actually.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I saw here. It's like, oh, let's get Unagi on this show. We'll help her out. Send Tam or Cosmic Angel for that show, and kind of this whole thing. So I appreciate what Unagi's done. She got another vote in the Tokyo Sports MVP thing. Fucking Kenta Kobashi loves this woman. It was him last year, so I'm blaming him again. I was like, she didn't do anything this year, but okay. She ran her own show. She sold out of Cork in January. So
I mean, I think that's pretty good. Selling,
impressive.
draw.
She's very it speaks to the Angels and their popularity for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's move on to that other company, of course, being Marigold. They have their.
By the way,
what's that?
I just want to say it. It's the people that hate me for my takes between these two companies. You're not going to enjoy this back-to-back preview because one show I am far more excited about.
Well, Scotty, I'm going to join you in that boat because I am also far more excited for this show. Of course,
and the card is full
card as well. First Dream 2025 in Oda City General Gymnasium in Tokyo, Japan. Full card. We'll start from the top here. Mirai versus Suri Yamaoka. I believe this is a brand new rookie making her debut.
Suri Yamaoka, the super rookie, titled the super rookie.
We have so many super rookies. Calm down.
This is the biggest, the most anticipated Joshi debut since Utami.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, yeah.
No pressure.
They're billing it as such for sure.
No pressure. I have all the confidence in the world that this is going to be the next big Joshi wrestler. I actually believe in the hype. Know the hype. Know what they believe in her. She was an amateur wrestler that had Olympic aspirations. That got injured, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Big fan because of Julia. So you can see how she ended up in Marigold. She actually said in an interview recently that before, I think it was last year, the year before, she was planning to join Stardom, but she had torn her ACL, so she was unable to. And obviously, all leads to this. She is designing her game. She did an interview recently. She's designing her game after Chihiro Hashimoto.
Great.
But wants to be like Io Sky.
Great. Even better.
I was like, holy shit. Okay. All right. Those are the right people to pick. And Julia, obviously, because that's her god.
So hard hitter, but also a high flyer.
Amateur wrestler. Mm-hmm. She's an amateur wrestler. So they released a public practice that she had.
Yep.
Picture perfect. German, picture perfect. God. She's gonna be a good one. Mirai's the perfect first opponent for her, I think, to have her debut against. So should be interesting. And if we want to go based on Utami comparisons, Utami in her debut went to a 15-minute time limit draw with Jungle Kiona. So something to potentially look out for. I think Rossi could go as far as to push this woman into the Dream Star final year one.
Oh, hot damn. I guess we'll find out. We have a New Year's Dream Rumble match. Don't know the participants. It looks
featuring participants from other companies. They specifically said. So fingers crossed. Miyamoto. Takumi Iroha, maybe.
Probably likely. Because you imagine it's gonna be a bunch of the Noah Monday Magic wrestlers.
I know Nanai will be in this.
Sadie match. Gibbs.
I don't know about that one. She had a bad thing with Stardom, so I don't know about that one. Back in the day. So, but Nanai will probably be in this match. Nanai's retiring. Heartbreaking. So, this is part of her retirement road as well.
You would have to imagine then if Nanai's in this match that she actually might win it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Marigold Superfly Championship, Natsumi Shizuki versus Victoria Yuzuki.
A
lot of Zukis there, but
well, very Rossi booking, and when I say that is he's gonna crown his future ace.
His other super rookie.
Yeah. She's been really good as of late. You've seen the progression since year 1 to year 2 very quickly. Absolutely should be crowning her here as champion. I think that's the direction that they want to go. It's very Rossi booking, like I said. This is if you followed him enough in the way he books, this is very on point of kind of booking all his people to be champion. So this is the one where she gets it, and rightfully so. You kind of want to start off the year. I really do consider this show like the real start. I know I've said that before, but first year with the Julia stuff and working through, like, we're getting started. This is where we're going. So.
Yeah. Marigold Twin Star Championship. Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki, I believe, who just won the titles. I believe.
Yeah, they won Friday.
Versus Bozilla, and I have here TBA.
Yeah, it's an X, or as we like to say, a lover.
Yeah.
Shout out to Noah for that. We're never getting rid of that.
Yeah, who is Bozilla's lover here, Scotty? Do you have any thoughts?
It could be like a rookie they haven't debuted. Maybe they have a surprise type thing.
Could be someone from Europe, maybe.
Could be someone could be alpha female.
Oh, that's not not bad.
Alpha female is, connected, very connected. That wouldn't surprise me in the least if that was kind of the big pop they went for. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Or it could be someone to protect Bozilla from taking the pin. That's also very possible.
Still could be alpha female then.
That's true. Or tinfoil hat. Act like this is tinfoil hat. Because I like to get my hopes up. It's not going to be her. Megan Bain. All right, continue.
That would
Rossi admitted he wanted them to team. That would be like.
That would be great.
Happens. That'd be incredible. It won't happen because
she can't. You can't get her on a flight. You can't get her on a flight anywhere.
If she could just be like, okay, that Hammerstein show will be my last one. Then I'll be here full time. That'd be great. It won't happen. But I'll keep dreaming. I'll keep bringing up her name until she goes somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't look. If she's not going to show up here, I'm just going to write her off completely.
Oh, I'm going to write her off completely from Japan.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep hoping for TNA.
I said it before. I don't
know why she want to go to TNA. They record once a month, and then that's it.
They still allow indie bookings. You can keep all your stuff. Look,
it'd be better than Tessa.
TNA. Let's move on. GHC women's title match. Koki Amare versus Chiaki Goto. Is Chiaki in 2 matches? Hold on. What?
Chika Goto.
Chika Goto. I read it wrong.
Chiaki is different wrestler.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, that's a big opportunity for these two. They are tag team partners, but when Chika Goto went out, Koki started teaming with Tommy. Natural progression. How dare you team without me? Yada yada yada. Big spot. They're benefited from not being the main event or the semi-main event, so the pressure won't be too much on them. If they keep it simple, they'll have a good match.
Yeah, I agree. I think I haven't. Koki Amare is someone who I immediately grabbed my eye when Marigold first started, and I didn't end up getting too impressed with her work. But you've said that she has gotten a lot better since then, so I'm interested to watch this and see where that goes.
It'll be interesting. It's a challenging match for the two. Had they done the 9 Koki for the big GHC, I wouldn't have been shocked. To have a veteran in there. But this is about taking chances. That's what they're doing with these two. They're 2 people that I think can be very popular for them. Are popular for them. So it'll be interesting. And GHC's on the line, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just to think about. This is Noah adjacent.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't what's the girl's name? The great Sakuya. Can't get Sakuya.
That could be Bozilla's partner too. They did team in
and Monday Magic or something.
They paired up in Magic. Yeah, that could be it too. I hope it's not.
Marigold.
Sakuya is good to stay in Noah.
Yeah. Marigold United National Championship. Miku Ano versus Mai Sakurai.
This will be Mai Sakurai's crowning moment. She made the strides necessary. She stepped up when Julia left, and she's going to get her moment. And I think it's very cool for her. Miku Ano's done good as first champion. I think Mai Sakurai is the right person to pivot to here. And that's a lot of title changes so far. So bring this to a very interesting main event.
Yeah, which to be clear, everything we've previewed in this entire show is all bullshit. None of that shit mattered. I think this is genuinely the best main event we are going to talk about on this entire show. This not just this show, but in Ring of Post Radio this episode. This is probably the best match we are going to discuss. A match that could easily be a 5-star match. Genuinely, Scotty, extremely excited for this match. Genuinely, one of the participants is top 5, I believe, number 4 of my top 5 of wrestlers of the year, not women's wrestlers of the year, of overall wrestlers of the year. One of these participants is my wrestler of the year in top 5 region. Utami Hayashishita challenging for the Marigold World Championship against Suri. I fuck it up at the very end. Fuck it. Gee, God damn it.
To be fair, the way you just presented it in your interest further proves why this is the biggest match they had and have had since Sari dove into the company.
Mm-hmm. I am so fucking excited for this match.
I think as someone who has followed the way booking styles go and whatnot when it comes to Rossi's a very interesting booker, and he started a new company this year, and he saw a wrestler that was creating steam that was not part of his roster, and said, "I'm giving my world title to her." And that, of course, is Sari, the Tokyo Sports Women's MVP. The first woman since 2018 to win it, not Stardom affiliated. Unbelievable year for her, and it all goes to this moment against Utami, who, I don't know if you've seen her in big matches, can often deliver. It's kind of her thing. No matter what your thoughts are on Utami over the past couple of years, the big match is where she shines the most. This is the biggest match, I think, the best match on paper heading into the double, Japanese holiday weeks, I should say. This is what this week to me is all about. The biggest match humanly possible in your company. And that is what this is.
I think this is the biggest match of, like I said, I already teed it up. The biggest match of this year-end week sort of situation.
Yep. And much like the Julia match, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that the Marigold wrestler is winning, because I think there is serious consideration to be had regarding Sari continuing her reign as champion.
I'm not against it, because here's the thing, right? Utami Hayashishita, I think would be a solid, second champion.
Oh yeah,
right?
She's their ace. So
yeah. So I think that's a solid second champion.
Makes sense.
Suri has been so strong that it is very tough to argue to have her lose the title right now. I don't know how attendance wise everything is for Marigold right now.
They're
but
pretty good. Well, she's not on a lot of shows.
So. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I can see keeping the title on her. Plus, there's a chance that somebody's losing a title in the Dome and will be coming available and potentially challenge Suri for said title.
I just want to say, whether she leaves or not, she should lose the title in the Dome.
I think we can
for other reasons. It's very interesting. I will say, to build on that, the post First Dream posters have Sari on for Marigold. Mm-hmm. Sariism, which is of course her big show, has multiple Marigold wrestlers. Has multiple wrestlers booked on that from Marigold. So I don't think this relationship just ends, whether she wins or loses. Anyway.
Agreed.
I think Rossi loves having her. Rossi's not someone that gets really excited these days. He's very deadpan in his reactions. Sari, he talks up as she should be. Obviously, my connections to Sari, she is my wrestler of the year, and it's not very close. This is the least close year I've ever had, by the way. That tells you maybe my interest in wrestling as well. but also like it's been Sari and then everyone else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, everyone. See you next year. I think Sari should win. I believed it when she won the belt originally. I think there's a lot of opportunities here. I think Sari versus Mirai is a big match to book down the line. I think Sari against a lot of the young competitors is still very interesting. And I think she's the right champion because you have to also remember Marigold is losing a big time vet in May. So if we can keep Sari around, maybe replace the big veteran spot in a couple months, that'll be interesting. And we know they want that match. They both want that rematch. So saying.
And also, it's also a matter of who else could be jumping, right? At the time, there was all these thoughts of there were people jumping, but there are more that couldn't, that want to. We don't know how large that was. A year changes a lot, but it's one of those things of maybe there are more people. Maybe people jump more than just the one.
There were times I got shaky about Mayu jumping, just because
we're talking about Mayu. Hold on, I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, shocker. But when the Nai announced her retirement in May, I said, I can't see her leaving Rossi hanging like that. Because that's a big loss. Like you're losing your train. She's probably still going to train, but you're losing your trainer, your top big time vet. I know a lot of people hate Nanai. They're wrong, but that's a big loss for that roster. And I, timing wise, May by then, you would think she'd be free. But anyway, main event, can't wait. Gonna be awesome. Gonna be fantastic. Could be one of the best matches of the year, truthfully. If all goes right, we get big time with Tommy, that Tommy Shuri-esque, and it's Sari. So Sari won't let the match be anything but great. That's kind of how I feel about it. That's just the level she hits on.
I stopped paying attention because all I could think about was the joke. It's gonna be Mayu instead of Mayu. It's Mayu. It's all I could think about.
It's gonna be Mayu.
And that's how we end Ring Post Radio this week's episode. Long ass episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all appreciate it. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Ring Post Radio wherever you get podcasts. If you like the video version and want to watch more of that, of course, subscribe to YouTube. Hit the bell. Do all that dumb fucking bullshit. But it does help. It is important. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get podcasts of the show. We would greatly appreciate it. Those take no time out of your day, and they severely help. A lot more than people actually think.
You want the TNA Genesis lineup?
Wait, they just announced
spoilers? No, they didn't announce it. From the spoilers. I know you want it. You want it.
When is that show? When is that show going to happen?
The 19th. So we will preview it.
Okay.
But do you want the card since it's pretty much official?
Obviously, Joe Hendry versus Nick Nemeth. This is known.
Yes. For the X Division title.
Okay.
Oh, spoiler alerts for the TNA viewers.
Yeah.
The X Division title. Moose versus Ace Austin.
Fine. I like the idea of Ace Austin getting the win there in sort of a Chris Bay sort of thing.
I like the idea of Ace Austin winning anyways. Because, again, I remain a big fan of Ace Austin.
By all accounts, it doesn't seem like Chris Bay is returning anytime soon. So
hold your ass. TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Spitfire versus Heather and Ash by Elegance. He held his ass.
This is supposed to draw big for TNA.
Tessa Blanchard versus Jordan Grace.
That's going to draw. It's going to draw.
And perhaps the most interesting match, the most interesting match on the show, in an I Quit match, which Mike Santana versus Josh Alexander.
There it is, baby.
Putting him out, putting him over on the way out.
The Mike Santana win train continues. Takes ahead, I guess, on its way out.
Mike Santana should be winning the world title, but that's fine.
But I digress. Look,
that's a big building, and that is what you got.
Yeah. Should we just do quick? I don't want to do fucking quick. We'll say that with TNA's year in review, I guess. Quick.
Oh, we sure will.
Yeah, I do have a lot of weird thoughts about TNA, so I guess
I can't wait for the year in review.
Yeah, me too. So then
everything sucked.
next week we'll be doing our big year in review show. Again, thoughts on all these promotions that we've been watching and discussing all year long.
Match of the year, wrestle of the year.
Give our.
I actually have one per company.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it because I should come prepared as well. So
that's why I told you now.
We'll talk about the good and the bad of all these promotions. Give what we're sort of excited for and what we're hoping for next year. So big time show. That will be airing not live, but it'll be. Well, I guess it'll be. I'll set it up as a YouTube premiere, so we'll feel live and it'll come out audio live, I guess. But
usual time on Sunday.
Usual time.
9:30.
We'll do 9:30. So get ready for that next week. And the week after that will be our big Wrestle Kingdom preview show with Chris Samsa. He comes on every year for Ring Post Radio. We greatly appreciate him coming on this year again. We know he just recently had a child, so I imagine it's tough times for him. But I'm glad he's making the time out. Of course, great times. But I'm glad he's making the time out to come on to our show.
I just want everyone to know I'm going to be amped up for that year-end review. Yeah, I'm seeing Sonic 3 before that. It's a dream, baby. It's the perfect day.
That's fair.
Little Sonic 3, a little Shadow the Hedgehog action. He's got
big hedgy. And of course, Chris Sampson preview for Wrestle Kingdom Wrestle Dynasty the week after that. We have plans to do 2 other Ring Post Radio shows in the new year, like January 1st, January 2nd, and then also maybe a January 6th show. We have those possibly locked in. We have to figure that out, I guess. But so it's the New Year stuff that we have to figure out, I guess. But
it's very far away. Those shows haven't even happened yet.
I know. We're basically going to be reviewing all the shows that we basically just previewed. So that's basically everything we have in store for Ring Post Radio for the rest of the year, going into the new year. We appreciate all of the listeners. Let's say this here now, Scotty. We appreciate all of our listeners for 2024. People that have been from us from the beginning. This is the last time we'll be able to say this live, Scotty. So for everyone that's been listening, where it is on Spotify, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever location you've been listening to the show or watching the show, I just want to say that from Scotty, from me, we're both very appreciative of you taking the time out and checking out Ring Post Radio, talking about Ring Post Radio with other people, and helping us, year over year, helping us grow as a podcast. We both very much appreciate that.
That we do. It's been a lot of fun this year. Ups and downs with wrestling, but always here for the show.
A lot of downs.
That's true. For the companies we mostly talk about, for sure. But we'll end the year strong. We will not leave you without audio, like Ryan said. Just think of it. Christmas Day, you haven't listened to the year-end review show yet, and you're with your families at the dinner table, and your weird uncles yell about something. You're like, what? I'd rather listen to that. My weird Ring Post Radio host yelling about something instead, and we appreciate that.
Your weird uncle is going on and on about raw milk. And you're like, I don't even know what that is, and I don't want to have any interest in learning what that is. I'd rather listen to big hedgy conversations.
I'd rather hear what they thought about MLW this year and TNA and CMLL. What are they going to watch in the new year?
Puts headphones on. This fucking company. So we'll have all that ready for you next week and for the rest of the year. A lot of big stuff.
I just want to say this. If you have ideas for guests, if you have ideas you want to see people on the show in the new year, we're welcoming new people. We like to talk to new people. As much as me and Ryan love to yell at each other together, we do like to have guests on. That's why we're having Chris Sampson back on. A classic, But if there's anyone that piques your mind, piques your interest, don't say sorry. I can't do that. But everyone, I don't know. But we should have a lot of fun. It's been a great year. Let's end the year strong. And this isn't the last podcast of the year, but it feels like it is because it's the last live one. So.
Yeah. I definitely agree. We should get Alex Kane on, and I just feel like, hey, spit more fire about Eric Bischoff, my guy.
Yeah. How much of a bitch is
Great year for Ring Post Radio. A lot of great stuff also coming for the Patreon. I've been prepping stuff. I have 2 recordings of the ballot already prepped and ready for the new year. New podcast coming behind the paywall, Patreon coming live for everybody. So I have 2 episodes already recorded, 2 great episodes. So you can be able to check that out. The first one coming out in January for sure. And then we have more stuff coming out. We have maybe some year-end award stuff. Maybe. Haven't talked about that, I think, on audio yet. But maybe.
Probably should next week's episode.
Well, yeah, I guess the year-end review is probably when we'll talk about it more. But that's a good shout. But yeah, we will talk to you all, I guess, another time. But before then, of course, Scotty, match of the week, and any other plugs.
Match of the week, Sari versus Nanai Takahashi, live from Shinjuku Face on Wrestle Universe. Nanai's last stand. I said it during the match, and then it ended up being true, and then I was really sad. But fantastic match. Sari. What a year. What a year for Sari. And then plug. Follow me at Scotty Wrestling on Twitter. Follow me, Scotty Wrestling on Blue Sky. I need to get back into using Blue Sky. I always forget I have it on. Like, I just tweet like things that maybe people don't know on there, because I realized that I'm starting to realize Blue Sky doesn't like keep informed. That's the only thing so far. Like with other promotions.
Yeah. I think
a lot of promotions aren't on there. AEW's on there. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep that informed, but I would like to just use that for fun. So if you're looking for a Sonic 3 review, keep an eye out.
Yeah, baby.
You people don't understand how excited I am for that damn thing. Yes, follow me there. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottEWrestling. I have a lot of ideas coming up, and I'll just give a little spoiler here that I haven't said anywhere else. My 5-star Joshi show will be heading over to the YouTube channel as well as the feed. It'll be on both, but I know people like video form, so I am going all out in the new year to make that accessible. I have some other ideas coming up as well in terms of content, maybe some year-end stuff. I don't know yet. Maybe a video to highlight a certain Joshi wrestler's incredible year. We'll figure out. You can figure that one out yourself.
Sorry,
yeah, and I'll have a lot of fuck you.
I could have said Micah.
That would have actually infuriated me. Yeah, no, you could have. What was I saying? You broke me.
I'll have a content stuff.
Yeah, so I do think that the 29th I'll have a Queendom review of some sort live, and I'll also have a First Stream review live as well on that Friday. We'll see. Lots of moving parts, but since this is the last live episode, thought I'd get all that out there. Thank you everyone for listening, and have a happy holiday if I forget to do it on one of the pre-recorded ones.
Perfect. Patreon.com/kind-of-pod. Sign up. We will have a new series starting in January as well on the Patreon. I've already talked about it before. Hustle Loyalty Retrospect. It would be a retrospective series about John Cena, talking about his first 2 years, 1999 to 2000. I guess technically his first several years. We're going to talk about his birth. so I guess those are included in that. But we're doing a retrospective series on John Cena. So patreon.com/kind-of-pod, $5 tier. You can gift it if you know someone that would be interested in that. Then you can gift it to that person. So definitely go check that out when it comes out in January. I don't know exactly what day yet, but I'll figure that out at some point. My match of the week. I did a lot of I pretty much all week long, Scotty, I watched just 80s and 90s CMLL, Lucha Libre wrestling, a little AAA action, a UWA match, I believe. Just a lot of 80s and 90s wrestling. Maybe I was prepping for the second episode of The Ballot. And a match that I really enjoyed, surprisingly really liked, was Los Infernales, El Santanico, Parata Morgan, MS1 versus Liz Mark, American Love Machine, Art Bar, and Vampiro. I was going to say it's Canada, the Canadian Vampire, Vampiro. Great match. This is from 1992, an episode of CMLL. July 12th, 1992. This was an episode where the Los Infernales just beat the ever-loving shit out of the other 3 wrestlers. Vampiro is bleeding like a stuffed pig. Lismark, his mask is so ripped open you can see his hair underneath. And obviously it's all led to a hair versus hair match between Vampiro and Pirata Morgan as well. That wasn't as good, but this 6-man was really great. 4 stars for sure. So great viewing. It's on YouTube somewhere, but we'll have a lot more discussion about Los Infernales coming soon. And I think there's definitely fans of Ring Post Radio. There'll be fans of who the guests are for that episode of the ballot. So that's my little tease there. Yep. Next week, we'll talk about a year-end review show. The week after that, we'll talk about Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty with Chris Samsa. And then we'll be back in the new year live for everybody at home with Ring Post Radio. So until then, we'll check you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.